Greetings, everybody. The Tigers in Texas tonight. Paul Carey's here. My name's Ernie Harwell. It's the first of a two-game set in Arlington, Texas, between the Tigers and the Rangers. Each team is starting today in a tie in its respective division. Dave Rozema, the young man from Michigan, will test his arm tonight. He won 15 and lost 7 last year, and his pitching rival will be right-hander Doc Medich, who had a combined 12 and 7 record last year with Oakland, Seattle, and the New York Mets, and then was signed as a free agent by the Rangers back in last November. The weather seems to be excellent. We've got a little bit of a breeze that is blowing in from the outfield toward home plate. And we'll be back in 1 minute with the starting lineup.
Plymouth announces a breakthrough in American automobiles. New Plymouth Horizon, the car you can drive in comfort and confidence on any kind of road. Horizon gives you superb traction and stability because it's the first American-made car of its size with front-wheel drive. Horizon is loaded with standard features like rack and pinion steering, front disc brakes, AM radio, white wall radial tires, and front bucket seats. And Horizon has improved mileage figures on cars produced since March 6, 1978. The EPA estimated a manual transmission Horizon without optional air conditioning and power steering at 41 miles per gallon highway, 27 cities. Your mileage may differ. Yet Horizon is base priced at just $37.06, excluding taxes and destination charges. Anytime you want to go anywhere, relax. Horizon can handle it.
Now at your Greater Detroit Chrysler Plymouth dealers.
Well, the pitcher's warming up in the bullpens right now. Paul Carey's all warmed up. He's had 2 bunks in the woods, and he's ready to go.
All right, Ernie, thank you very much. I won't tell anybody about that Spanish food you had earlier today. Good evening from Arlington Stadium here in Arlington, Texas, the Metroplex area of Fort Worth and Dallas, where we've had some renovation take place since Ernie and I last visited with the Tigers at mid-year a season ago. They've added some upper deck here behind the home plate area, adding to the capacity some 5,000-plus seats. And they have built some special private boxes as well beyond the press box area. Well, the Tigers are beginning the first road trip of the season. 2 games here in Texas, and then 3 in Toronto before coming back home next Monday for a 2-game set with the Chicago White Sox. Both these ball clubs have taken 2 out of 3 thus far, winning their season opening series. The Tigers, of course, taking 2 of 3 from Toronto, and the Rangers played the Yankees the pregame starting on Saturday and capped it off last night with a victory 5-2. The Tigers flew down last night after beating Cincinnati 5-3 in Sandlot benefit game. They arrived about 2:30 Detroit time, 1:30 down here in Texas to get set for this ball game tonight. Young Dave Rozema, who won 15 times last year as the Rookie Pitcher of the Year in the American League, gets his first outing of the season against a very tough Texas Ranger lineup that is certainly much improved over a year ago. One of the best set lineups in the business. The depth might be a bit of a problem, but Billy Hunter has experience on the bench, at least. Going against the Tigers tonight, one of the 2 new acquisitions among the starting pitchers for the Rangers, George Doc Medich, who went into the free agent market last November and wound up signing a contract for $1 million worth 4 years with the Texas Rangers. The umpires are making their way to home plate right now, and they'll be meeting with the managers to swap the starting lineups. And let's pause right here for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
At 8:30, you're listening to Tiger Baseball on WJR Detroit. And in Atlanta, in the first period, Detroit Red Wings 3, the Flames no score on power play goals by Dale McCourt and 2 by Ned Nedomansky.
Now the starting lineup for the Detroit Tigers against the right-hander Doc Medich, leading off playing in center field, will be Ron LeFlore. Batting second, the Tiger third baseman, Phil Mankowski. Hitting third, the Tigers' designated batter, Rusty Staub. Batting fourth, first baseman Jason Thompson. Hitting fifth in left field will be Steve Kemp. Batting sixth, the right fielder, Tim Corcoran. Hitting seventh, doing the catching, Milt May. Batting eighth at second base, Lou Whitaker. And batting ninth, shortstop, Alan Trammell. Well, the Tiger lineup has LeFlore leading off in center, followed by Mankowski at third, Staub the DH, Thompson at first, Kemp in left, Corcoran in right, May behind the plate, Whitaker at second, and Trammell at short. Well, the Rangers against Rosie tonight. Leading off, playing at first base, will be Mike Hargrove. Batting second, the veteran shortstop, Bert Campaneris. Hitting third in left field, Al Oliver. Batting cleanup, the newly acquired designated batter for the Rangers, Richie Zisk. Hitting fifth at third base will be Toby Harrah. Batting sixth and in right field, Claudell Washington. Batting seventh, playing center field, Juan Beniquez. Batting eighth, the second baseman, Bump Wills. And batting ninth, catcher Jim Sundberg. The Ranger lineup again has Hargrove leading off at first base, followed by Campaneris at short, Oliver in left, Zisk the DH, Harrah at third, Washington in right, Beniquez in center, Wills at second, and Sundberg catching. Well, the meeting at home plate, an extra long one here. What with the first visit of the Tigers to Arlington Stadium for the spring, and Ralph Houk going thoroughly over the ground rules with the umpiring crew. Behind the plate, it will be the second-year umpire Durwood Merrill. Out at first base, the crew chief Marty Springstead. At second, Larry Barnett. And at third, Jim Evans. Well, they had some good crowds down here at Arlington Stadium over the first three games with the Yankees series, as might be expected at the beginning of the season and with the Yankees in town. They are above last year's pace at this time. Crowd tonight, it's going to be a little more difficult for Ernie and I to estimate it here because of the addition of the upper deck. It's over our head, and we're unable to see how many people are there. But there are a lot of empty seats out here tonight. They drew a little over 13,000 for the ball game last night, and I would say it would be in the area of maybe 10 to 12,000 here tonight. The Rangers have made their way out to their defensive positions on the mound. And a special cheer has gone up in left field for Al Oliver, who has fast become a favorite here in Arlington, having played only 3 games. But number 0 out there has a lot of fans in the bleachers. Now our national anthem. Doc Medich takes his final warm-up tosses. We'll pause for these messages.
No charge checking. Other banks make it tougher. City National makes it easier. Now, while other banks are increasing the minimum savings balance you need for no charge checking, CNB lowers it with combo checking.
Nobody has got what City National Bank has got.
That's right. Some banks are raising the minimum savings requirement to a whopping $500, but CNB lowers it to $200. A $200 minimum balance in savings for a $200 minimum balance in your checking account, and you check without charge. $200 in savings or $200 in checking, and you write all the checks you want without charge. All your checks without charge. Other banks make no charge checking tougher. Combo checking makes it easier. You got it? Member FDIC.
This is Jim Garrett. Detroit's buildings and safety engineers have answers to your energy-saving questions. Call 224-3181 for information. Well, this is a big night, certainly, for both ball clubs, for the two young pitchers. The youngest, Dave Rozema, making his first outing of the season. Dave just a step behind the other Tiger starters because of a little spate of stiff shoulder down in spring training early. But Dave has turned in 6 innings worth in his last 2 outings in exhibition play. He last appeared, you will recall, at Columbus, Ohio last Tuesday when the Tigers were headed north to open the season in Detroit. Dave making his first outing of the season here tonight. The young man on the mound making sure everything is ready. He was doing a lot of groundwork out there on the landing area of the mound is Doc Medich. Here's the man who everybody felt would not at this point in time in 1978 be playing baseball, but he'd be occupied as a doctor. He has his degree. He's a graduate of the medical school, the University of Pittsburgh, but Doc is continuing on in baseball thanks to the 4-year, $1 million contract offered him by the Rangers when he went free agent back in November of last year. He's ready to go, and at the plate is Ron LeFlore. And at the microphone, here's Ernie Harwell.
Thanks, Paul. We're set to go. The right hand to Medich in the motion delivers, and LeFlore hits a bounding ball to second. Wills has it to flip to first, and he is out at first base. We had to wait. There was a collision, and the question was, did Hargrove stay on the bag? And the umpire down there, Marty Springstead, said he did. So it is 1 away. A poor throw by Wills to the home plate trap at first base, putting Hargrove out and into the trap of the oncoming LeFlore. But LeFlore is out, run up and run down. Brown went up there hitting 308. Here's Phil Mankowski batting .333 against the right-handed Medich. Doc delivers, strike call. Medich is now 30 years old. He got his start with the Yankees back in '72. Then went to Pittsburgh, then the Mets, Oakland, and Seattle all last year. There's a ball low to the left-hand batting Phil Mankowski. Just underway in Texas, no score. Rusty Staub will bat next. Medich checking his time with his fine young catcher Sundberg. There's a cut on the pad in the dirt back of the plate. Talking to Willie Hunter, the Texas manager, before the game, I asked him what kind of a spring Medich had. He said, very bad. He says, I hope he pitches a lot better tonight than he did this spring. Here's the motion in the pitch. Swung on, line drive left field. It'll be in for a hit, fielded by Oliver on one skip, and rifle back into the middle of the diamond. Paul told you, Oliver already has won a lot of friends out there in left field. In fact, they've got a sign up out there now, hanging over one of the barriers. It says, Al's Pals. Here's Rusty Staub at the plate with a man on and the man out.
I thought they'd have Oliver's followers.
Hey, that's even better. Yeah. Rusty batting .385. Strike call. Fastball over. How about that? Throw to first, and back in time, Mankowski. Medich, the big right-hander, sets and deals. Here's a ball outside the fastball wide to Rusty. 1-1 the count on him. Staub has 5 for 13. Now the stretch again. And he delivers. Rusty takes it wide again. Same spot as that last one. Medich basically a fastball pitcher. He's got a curve and a slider. Sundberg was telling us he also has a pretty good changeup. But he has never really reached the potential they expected of him. 19-game winner 1 year with the Yanks, but he has not been up to that in the last several seasons. Here's the stretch and the pitch. Swung on a bounding ball up the middle. Wills gloves it, flips it over to Campaneris, throw to first, double play. A beautiful double play to rob Staub of a hit and then turn it into the inning-ending play. No runs on a one hit, no errors, and nobody left. That at the end of a half inning, Tigers having Texas coming to bat.
A winner anywhere strikes it all the way around. The carry of the good and hot, wait for nighttime snacks, or sit down at Little Caesars. Just order and get out.
Pizza lovers, right now you can get a large round pizza from Little Caesars with anything you want on it for the price of an identical small pizza. That's right, a large round pizza with all the trimmings for the price of an identical small. Just bring in the special coupon you'll find in your local newspaper or TV book, and they'll do the rest. Mouth-watering goodness at a special low price. No wonder pizza lovers everywhere love Little Caesars Pizza. Little Caesars Pizza, a winner any way you slice it.
Now the Texans coming to bat. They'll be facing Dave Rozema, the 21-year-old right-hander from Grand Rapids. Rozema, the most effective Tiger pitcher last year, won 15 and lost 7. He was the Tiger Rookie of the Year, as voted by the Detroit sports broadcasters. Also the American League Rookie Pitcher of the Year, and a member of the top American League All-Star team, Rookie All-Star team. He will be facing Mike Hargrove, the first baseman. Very fine leadoff man for Texas. Batting an even 300 right now, 3 for 10. Left-hand batter. He walks a good deal. He's very selective in his pitches. Mankowski wanted the bag on Mike. Steps out, goes through that routine with the glove and the cap, etc. Now waits, and the pitch on the way. It's taken for a ball, low. May is doing the catching for the Tigers. Mankowski at third, Trammell at short, Whitaker at second. Thompson at first, Kemp in left, center fielder LeFlore, the right fielder Corcoran. No score first inning in Arlington. Here's a strike. It got the outside corner. Tomorrow night, it'll be Mark Fidrich against John Matlock. Final game of the 2-game set, then the Tigers move on to Toronto to help the Blue Jays open their season on Friday. Bounding ball hit slowly toward first. Thompson gloves it, tosses to Rozema, covering, and they get him. The first baseman to the pitcher. 1 up and 1 down. Now here's one of the veterans on this Texas Ranger team, Bert Campaneris. Campy has lost the step or so to Father Time, but he can still go get him, and is still a dangerous man on the bases. 36-year-old right-hand batting infielder. Bunts the ball. It is in front of the plate. Picked up by May, gunned over to first, but now ruled a foul by the plate umpire Merrill. Al Oliver waiting at the on-deck circle. The Rangers took the seasonal series from the Tigers last year, 8-2. Tigers won only 1 game here and only 1 at Tiger Stadium. There's a ball now on Champy. 1-1 they count on him. This is Campaneris' 14th year in the American League. And Rozema winds and pitches. Swing and a miss. Get that one to the mid of May. Breeze is coming in from the outfield, just about straightaway center toward home plate tonight. It's a very pleasant evening here in Texas. We hope the weather's good wherever you might be tuned in. Here it comes. He takes a wide curve. 2-2 the count on Campaneris. 330 down each line in this park. 400 straightaway centers. 370 in the power alleys. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball got him. And Campaneris is out on strike. That's 2 down, nobody on. Here's Al Oliver. Former Pittsburgh Pirate outfielder. He has 4 hits and 12 trips. That's the most hits on this team. No home runs and no RBIs. 3 singles and a double. Left-hand batting Oliver at the plate. Where's the number 0? There's a strike call. Rozema curved him. Oliver came here in the Bert Blyleven deal. Swing and a miss. Rosie changed up, and Oliver got out in front of that one. Last year, he batted .308 for the Pirates. Had 19 home runs and drove home 82. Left-handed batter standing deep. Feet close together. Swings, bounding ball to second. Whitaker backs up, bobbles it, picks it up. Throw to Thompson is wide, and he is out. Thompson held his foot on the bag. There'll be a little discussion about that one, but it is out number 3. They go down 1-2-3 in the Texas first. And it's the inning 1. The Rangers nothing, the Tigers nothing.
You're trying to get on base in the Labatt's baseball trivia game. And here's the pitch. Who is the oldest man to win a batting championship? Think it over and pour yourself a cool, refreshing Labatt's beer. The answer? The all-time great Ted Williams. Williams, at age 39, hit .388 to capture the American League title for the Boston Red Sox. And at 40, he also was batting king as he led the league with a .328 mark in 1958. Great baseball calls for great beer. Labatt's. Call for Labatt's. Brewed in Canada since 1828. Distributed by Labatt Importers Incorporated, Buffalo, New York.
For beer at its finest, get your hands on Labatt's. It's Canada's #1 beer. As fresh and crisp as where it comes from.
Radio 76 salutes Detroit Pistons captain Bob Lemire, recently awarded the 1978 Walter Kennedy Citizenship Award for his outstanding humanitarian achievements in our community.
Doc Medich, the right-hander ready to go to work. He really is a doctor. He's a resident in general surgery at the Allegheny General Hospital in Pittsburgh. Following in the footsteps of the hero of the river who got perfect, and that would be Dr. Bobby Brown, who used to do his playing with the New York Yankees. He was with Corbett's boyhood hero. Here's Thompson coming to the bat now to try to get it going with the Tigers against Doc Medich. Jason hitting .286, that's 4 for 14. Here's the windup and the pitch, and he takes the strike call. Rooftop Thompson, but they don't have any rooftops in their territory in this ballpark. I'm going to have to foul one back to get it on the roof. They don't even have one up here, up this way either, do they? There's a ball low. Just stands and no roof anywhere.
We could call him Big Sky Thompson.
1-1, the count on Jason. No score, second inning. Swing at a high fly ball, short left center. Oliver coming in, Campaneris going back. Oliver has it. Well, everybody could get under that one. It was so high. Oh, now Medich will pitch to Steve Kemp, who's hitting .444. There have been a lot of medical doctors who played professional baseball. Hub Pruitt was one, pitched for the old Brownies back in the 20s, and he was, as you remember, a jinx to Babe Ruth. 1922, he struck out Ruth 22 times in that one season. Here's Kemp at the plate now. No score. We're in the second inning in Texas. It is a strike call. Medich got his slow breaking ball over. Ball outside. 1-1 the count. The Yankees at one time had a battery of doctors back in the early 1900s. Mike Powers was the catcher. Jim Newton was the pitcher. Both doctors. Here's a ball high. 2-1. And there was Doc Finkel with the Tigers. Yeah. And Hillsdale. There's a strike on the outside corner. Here's the wind-up by Medich, and the pitch on the way. It is a strike. He struck him out. Well, Kemp looked at a breaking ball and is called out on strike. That's the first strikeout by Medich. Tim Corcoran, Corky, will be the batter. He is 0 for 3 for the young season. He's walked 3 times, but does not have a hit. Outfield straight up on him. Tigers have had 1 hit so far, a single by Mankowski in the opening inning. He was a race and a double play. There's a ball outside. It's a beautiful play by Wills, one of the outstanding defensive plays we've seen so far in the young season. Deep at second, took a hit away from Staub, flipped to Campaneris. They turned it into 2. Corky looks, there's the curve staying away. 2-0 did he count on him. Infield back except for the third strike of Toby Harrah. Now the 2-0 delivery. He takes strike on the outside corner. That time the fastball. Milt May waiting on deck. The Tigers trying to get it going against Doc Medich. No score. Second inning in Texas. Bounding ball to first. It is a foul just outside the bag. A diving, rolling effort by Hargrove. Ball foul anyway. Paul Moore, who is the Saturday edition editor of the Fort Worth Star-Telegram, is out here. He grew up in Huntington Woods, Michigan. He wants to send the best wishes to all the folks back home. The count on Corcoran. No score, second inning. Wind up the pitch. It's a wide one, full count. Billy Hunter says the big question mark on his team is the pitching. Especially the bullpen. Now Medich, ready to go to work again. Full count delivery. Swung on, hit the left, base hit. Oliver fields the ball, and that'll be the second hit by the Tigers, the first of the year for Corcoran. And Milt May will be stepping up. Milt with 2 for 4 for the season. I asked Billy about a report in the New York paper. I said I saw a report in the New York paper that the Rangers could have Sparky Lyle or Claudell Washington. And he said, well, I don't know about that, but he said, I'll tell you one thing, I might report Sparky to the commissioner for tampering with my owner. That'd be a switch, wouldn't it? Man on first, 2 down, no score. Here's Milt May at the plate. There's a ball outside. I have high regard for Claudell, but I'd make that deal anytime if I were the Rangers and could do it. No score, second inning. Tigers with a man on and 2 down. Flip over to first, and back in time is Corcoran.
Reports that the Rangers have evinced some interest in Ken Holtzman. Clay Carroll has been working out down here with them.
There's a bounding foul ball over toward the dugout. The Rangers were supposed to send Sid Hudson up to take a look at Holtzman's pitch tonight, and I notice he's not pitching anyway.
Catfish started tonight.
Catfish started. What's that score over there now? We got Vince Desmond keeping scores for us. A little rough catfishes out of him. Milwaukee leads the Yankees 6-1 in the fourth. There's a line drive base hit in the corner off the bat of May. Corcoran turning, heading for third. Up for the ball is Washington, fires it into bump wells, and the Tigers have runners at the corners. And 2 down and the score is tied. Second inning, and the batter will be Whitaker. May ripped a line drive hit into right field. The 3 Tiger hits have all been solid singles. Sweet Lou Whitaker, who's won himself a lot of fans already at Tiger Stadium. He's batting .286, that's 2 for 7. 1 double and 1 single, and 1 RBI. Steps up.
They must have oversprinkled the mound or something, because Medich had some trouble before the game began. He down with a tongue depressor to try to wipe away some mud from his spikes now.
Now he's ready to go. The pitch to Whitaker is very high, a fastball. In the Toronto series, the Blue Jay outfielders were playing very shallow on Whitaker, especially the left fielder. In fact, the Tigers were amazed that the left fielder was that shallow. Notice Oliver is in more normal depth against him in left. If they drive that way, but it'll go foul, back of the seat. 1-1, the count on Lou.
So far, May's been the only one to pull Medich.
Man on first is May. The man on third is Corcoran. The Tigers have a scoring chance. 2 down. Second inning. Fastball moved him back. 2-1 the count now. Medich is 6'5" and weighs around 230. Big right-handed sets, kicks, delivers. Whitaker swings, foul out of play. Got a fastball in tight on him, a hard pitch to handle. Hargrove holding on the bag with May. That gives Whitaker a little space if he can pull the ball between Wilk and Hargrove. Now the stretch again. We wait on the 2-2 delivery to Lou. Backs him off inside fastball under the chin. Medich is 6-3 against the Tigers in his lifetime, and this is his first appearance for the Rangers this season. Matlack and Fedrich will be the pitchers here tomorrow night. We hope you join us for that one. Now the 3-2 delivery on the way. He walked him. The Tigers have loaded the bases. And the number 9 batter, Alan Trammell, will try to do something about it. Trammell with 1 hit and 3 trips so far this season. So with 2 downs, 2 singles and a walk have loaded the bases. Allen, right-hand batter against the right-hand pitching of Medich. Mr. Trammell, young man who now makes his home in San Diego. Southern League's most valuable player last year. Infield playing back with 2 down, no score, bases loaded, 2 out. Swing, fly ball, right field. Here comes Washington. He's there, drops it for the out. He was playing in shallow, and the ball didn't get much wood on it. And Washington puts it out of the air. No runs, 2 hits, a walk, no errors. 3 Tigers are stranded at the end of 1.5 innings. Detroit nothing, Rangers nothing.
Marathon Oil Company. We got together to do it better. And we did.
Coming to bat now against Dave Rozema, who set him down in 1-2-3 fashion in the opening inning, and they'll send up their designated hitter, Richie Zisk, who started off, followed by Toby Harrah and then Claudell Washington. Zisk, one of the several additions to this club, makes the folks down here in Texas think that their Rangers might win the division in the American League. Zisk batting .455. That's 5 for 11. He has a couple of home runs and leads the team in RBIs with 5. Richie Zisk at the plate. Big, strong right-hand batter. They got him from the White Sox. He takes a breaking ball over for a strike. Batted .290 last year and had 30 home runs, 101 in the RBI department. There's a strike called, another slider from Rosie. Zisk, a graduate of Seton Hall. And all those major league seasons with Pittsburgh until last year when he was with Chicago. Takes a half cut but holds off, and it is out of the strike zone. 1-2 on Zisk. No runs and 3 hits for the Tigers, no runs and no hits for the Rangers. We're in the second inning in Texas. Here it comes. He looks in too close with a fastball. That was not much out of the strike zone. 2-2 now on Zisk. Toby Harrah waiting at the on-deck circle. Fly ball into the deep left center field. It may get up the alley. It does, off the wall, fielded by Kemp. Here's the throw into the infield, and it'll be a double for Richie. And up the alley double to left center. And before Toby Harrah bats now, let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
WJR Detroit. In Game 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs, Detroit 4, Atlanta nothing. On power play goals by McCourt, 2 by Nedomansky, and a shorthanded goal by Hextall. At the end of the first period of play, Red Wings 4, Atlanta 0.
Here's Toby Harrah, the right-hand batting third baseman, batting .250, 2 for 8 so far. Toby telling me before the ball game that he thought the fans of Detroit were some of the best in baseball. He likes playing that ballpark. Because, you know, the eastern park's a lot better for hitters. You feel a lot more like a hitter in the eastern ballparks in the American League than you do in the western park. Here's the set by Rosie and the young right-handed pitches. Harrah takes a strike on the inside corner. Outfield a little bit to left on him in the infield back. Zisk on second with his lead-off double. Pretty good turnout here tonight. It's very pleasant weather. Ball in too close. 1-1 the count on him. Rozema got ahead of Zisk and then lost him on that 2-base hit for left center. Rosie checks his sign again with Milt May. It is just off the inside corner. Most of the pitches that Rozema's been throwing these right-hand hitters in this inning that have been off target have been toward the inside. Oh, the tall young right-hander peers in again to go to work. 2-1 the count on Toby. Rozema ready, delivers, and it is a wide one. That was a low outside slider. Seemed to be forcing that pitch a little bit. No score, second inning, but the Texans are threatening. They've got a man on at second base, and nobody down. Harrah had 27 home runs last year and had 87 RBIs. He takes strike on the inside corner, full count. Toby didn't start out as much of a home run hitter. Then he began to pick up a little heft along the way and also developed a home run swing. Now the full count delivery from Rozema. Here it comes. He swings as a dive to right. Going back is Corcoran. He's there, fairly deep, makes the catch. Just tags, heads for third. He'll make it easily. Man on third, one away. Will bring up Claudell Washington, the former Oakland player who came to Texas last year. Claudell says he likes it down here. He's still living in Oakland, but he says if things go good for him, he might settle here. Hurt his leg playing basketball in the offseason. That didn't go over too big with the management. And he's still slightly hobbled from that. They're going to pull the infield in at the corners. Let's see if the other two come in. Yep, Trammell's going to come in at shortstop. And Ralph House can let Whitaker play back. So that's the way the infield aligns itself against Claudell. Left-handed batter swings and misses. He pulled the trigger too soon. Washington has 1 for 6 so far this year, a single, 2 RBIs. Always a threat at the plate, and he has good running speed. Outfield is straight up on him. Man on third is Zisk. 1 man out, no score, second inning. Swing and a miss. The slider from Rozema. Now May wants to confab at the mound with his pitcher. This trip with the Tigers is to 2 cities, beginning here in Texas, these 2 games, then an off day on Thursday, on which the Tigers will be traveling, and then the weekend in Toronto. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, all single games. Here's a cut and a miss. He struck him out. That's a big strikeout for Rozema with that man at third base and only 1 away. Now there are 2 down as he racks up his second strikeout of the game. And Juan Beniquez, the fleet center fielder, the Gold Glove winner, steps up. Beniquez with 0 for 9 so far this year. Infield drops back now. Beniquez, as you probably know, hits out of a decided closed stance. It's a classic example of a closed stance hitter. Practically turns his back around toward the pitcher. And he takes a fastball at the shoulder. In close on him, ball 1. No score, inning number 2. Arlington, Texas, the scene of Tiger action tonight. Hope you'll be out at Tiger Stadium with us when the Tigers get back home. It'll be Monday, the 17th of April against Chicago. It's a tap ball in the dirt. White Sox are off to a good start. They got Ron Blomberg hitting. He hit another home run today. Milwaukee and the Yankees have gone to the 7th inning in their game in Milwaukee. And it is the Milwaukee 8 and the Yankees 4. Cooper has homered. Thomas has hit 2 home runs for Milwaukee. And Randolph hit a 3-run homer for the Yankees in the 6th inning. 1-1 on Juan Beniquez. Man on third is Richie Zisk, set by the Rose. And the pitch, he takes the ball low. Fastball, low and in close. No runs and 3 hits for Detroit. No runs and 1 hit for the Rangers. Now Zisk sort of ambling down the line from third, keeping an eye on Rosie, who goes to set position, holds it, pitches. Beniquez looks for the slider wide, and he is ahead of the young pitcher now, 3-1 on the batter. Beniquez started out as an infielder in the Boston Red Sox system when they made an outfielder out of him, and he's become a fine one. Waiting on a 3-1 delivery. Tap foul in the dirt, back of the plate. Got one in on the hand. A while, Beniquez had a throwing problem. At one time had an operation on his shoulder. He had a shoulder separation with the Red Sox back in 1974. Full count on him now. No score. 2 out. A man at third base in the 2nd inning. Rose was still staring in. Beniquez thinks maybe for a little bit too long. He steps away from the plate. Now they're back facing each other. And they set by Rosie. The pitch swung out a bounding foul down past Connie Ryan, the third base coach. Connie played with the Atlanta Crackers down in 1941 when I was down there. Here's the set now on the pitch to Juan Beniquez. Swing, fly ball, deep center field. LeFlore backing up. He'll have room. He makes the catch and the side retired. Oh, Rosie gets out of trouble. No runs on one hit. There were no errors and one man left. At the end of two, Texas nothing, Detroit nothing.
Plymouth announces a breakthrough in American automobiles. New Plymouth Horizon, the car you can drive in comfort and confidence on any kind of road. Horizon gives you superb traction and stability because it's the first American-made car of its size with front-wheel drive. Horizon is loaded with standard features like rack and pinion steering, front disc brakes, AM radio, white wall radio tires, and front bucket seats. And Horizon has improved mileage figures on cars produced since March 6, 1978. The EPA estimated a manual transmission Horizon without optional air conditioning and power steering at 41 miles per gallon highway, 27 city. Your mileage may differ. Yet Horizon is base priced at just $37.06, excluding taxes and destination charges. Anytime you want to go anywhere, relax. Horizon can handle it.
Now at your Greater Detroit Chrysler Plymouth dealers.
Did you know that during his 18-year boxing career, Gentleman Jim Corbett never had a bloody nose or a black eye? That's a WJR Sports stat, and I'm Dale Conquest.
The Tigers have a new equipment manager. P.O. DeSalvo, the 39-year-old trainer with Evansville, has been appointed to that job by Jim Campbell, the executive vice president and general manager, and he will travel with the Tigers and handle the equipment. Tiger Stadium. And Paul and I want to send our very best to Jack Han, who has resigned from his job, and we hope Jack the very best of luck in whatever endeavor he undertakes. Here's Ron LeFlore now, leading it off for the Tigers, and he takes the ball in close. Ball one on Ronnie. He bounced to second base his first trip. This game is scoreless. Third inning, Medich on the mound delivers strike called. 1-1 on LeFlore. Outfield slightly toward right on him, and the infield back. Medich pitches again. There's a bounding ball to Wills at second base. He flips it over to first to Hargrove, and LeFlore goes out the same way he did in the first inning, second to first. Here's Mankowski, who singled in the first inning. Then Phil was erased in a double play. Left-hand batter against the right-hander Doc Medich. Swing and a foul right down below us. And a gentleman from Plano will take that one home with him. Pretty good stop. Bounced in the aisle, and he left-handed it. Here it comes. Watch out. He jackknifed out of the way of an inside fastball from Medich. Doc's real name is George. He delivers. There's a bounding ball back to Wills. He's to his right, deep, has it, throw to first, got him. Oh, Bob Wills has been busy down there second base. That's his fourth assist already. Here's Rusty Staub, who hit into a double play on a brilliant maneuver by Bump in the first inning. Rusty hit the ball sharply up the middle. Wills got backhanded it behind the bag, and with one motion out of the glove, flipped the ball to Campaneris, who relayed to Hargrove for the DP. Rusty takes a slow curveball over. Strike called. Yes, sir, you'll want to see these young Tigers in action when they get back to Tiger Stadium. Be out there with us throughout the season. Fastball low and away, 1-1 on Staub. It's so fun like the fun you have at the ballpark. 1-1 now on Rusty, 2 out, nobody on. Scoreless game. Swing and a tap foul in the dirt. Overswung a little bit on that one. 3 hits for the Tigers and 1 for the Rangers. Tigers 3 hits have been singles. The Rangers 1 hit was a double by Zisk. Now the motion. Here's the pitch. In close. Fastball 2-2. Billy Hunter's talking about Medich in spring training and how a lot of times certain pitchers don't look good in spring training and then can do the job when the bell rings. Here's the pitch. There's a chopper foul. Billy said, I remember one time I got a home run, a double, and a single off Sal Magley. And he said, that was in a spring game. He said, there's no way I can hit Magley that good in the regular season. 2-2, the count on Rusty Staub. Here it comes. Swung on a high fly ball to right field, not deep enough. Washington is there waiting. It'll come down, and does in his glove. Oh, they're out 1, 2, 3 in the Tigers' third. We go to the last half of third. Detroit nothing, Texas nothing.
There's two things I remember about 58. I spent more on oil for my hair than on oil for my car. And I bought my first Chevy. It's also the year I started using Champions. Now in 66, I remember two Mustangs. A silver Corvette and a redhead named Georgette.
No matter where you are, champion.
This year I got myself a Chevy wagon. And 4 more things to remember. Billy Jean, Billy Joe, Billy Jean, and Billy Bob. I've had a lot of different kinds of Chevys over the years, but one kind of spark plug, Champion.
You can't buy a better truck for any kind of car than Champion. Champion. You can't buy a better truck no matter where you are than Champion. Champion's number 1 in the world. Number 1 in your car.
Did I forget someone? Did I forget Billy Jack?
Well, Rozema ready to go into action now with Bump Wills to lead it off against Rosie. And then after the second baseman bats, it'll be the catcher Sundberg, followed by the top of the batting order, Mike Hargrove. Each of these teams won 2 out of 3 in its opening series. The Rangers taking the measure of the Yankees, and the Tigers besting the Toronto Blue Jays. Well, Wills, the switch batter, will be up there left-handed. He's hitting .250 so far, 2 for 8. Mankowski in on the grass at third base, anticipating the bunt possibility, as Rozema delivers high and away, ball 1 on Wills. Little guy's won himself a regular spot down here. He swings and it's one up the middle. Past Trammell's glove on one hop on into center field. Trammell got back a second, almost got to that ball, but it got past him, and it is hit number 2 off Rozema. Wills leads off with a single. Here's Jim Sundberg with 1 for 9. After Billy Hunter came down here last year, Sundberg has sort of switched around and made himself a good hitter. Went up on the bat a little bit, got some confidence. Hunter got to a point where he wouldn't take Jim out in the late innings for pinch batter. And he ended up with his finest year at the plate. He batted .291. Prior to that, his best average had been .242. There's a toss over to first base. In fact, he had averages of .242, .199, and .228 before he moved up to .291. University of Iowa product, Jim Sundberg. Wills with a pretty good lead at first base. And he goes. The pitch is swung on and missed. May's throw to second. It is not in time. He got a good jump on Rozema. May could not contend with that. It's a steal for Wills. No question about that one. He got a good jump.
That pitch was low, and Sundberg helped the runner. He went swinging at a pitch outside the strike zone, and May had to pick the ball out of the dirt, so Milt was held back a bit there.
That's the first steal for Bump. He's been thrown out once before. Man on second now, nobody down. It's the second straight inning. They've got a man on second base with nobody out against Rozema. No score, third inning. And Sundberg takes a slider wide, 1-1. Outfield on Sundberg is just slightly toward left field. Here's the set and the pitch. In too close, down around the knees, 2-1. Rozema's not walked anybody, but his control really hasn't been as sharp as his record would indicate. He struck out a couple. He's thrown quite a few pitches for this stage of the game. Now, behind on the hitter, he goes to the 2-1 set position, delivers. Here's a bounding ball to first. Thompson gloves it, makes the play unassisted. Wills takes third easily, and this is the second straight inning that the Rangers have put a man at third with one away. Mike Hargrove, who bounced out first base to pitcher covering, will be the batter. The Tigers are going to pull their infield in again, with the exception of Whitaker, the second baseman. Mike Hargrove, the left-handed batting first baseman, at the plate. Now the stretch and the pitch. He swings as a drive to deep center field, right center. LeFlore goes back, makes the catch. The run will score. Flagged by Wills. He crosses the plate. 1-0 Texas. No play at all at the plate. No chance for LeFlore. He had to go deep in the right center to pull the ball in. And Wills just dropped on home with a first run of the game. 1-0 Rangers. Here's Bert Campaneris. RBI on the sacrifice for Hargrove. That's his first run batted in this year. Right-hand batting Campaneris waiting. 1-0 Texas in the third. There's a drive to center. Here comes LeFlore. He grabs it on the run towards second base. A good running catch by Ron. And the side retired. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left. That at the end of 3. The Rangers 1 and the Tigers 0. Well, let's look at the other scores. This afternoon, the White Sox beat Toronto 9-5, and there were plenty of home runs there for Chicago. Soto home with the man on, Orta with a man on, Gar with the bases empty, Bloomberg with a man on, and 2 bases empty home runs by Toronto, both in the 4th inning, by Carty and by Velez. Jefferson is the loser, and Torrealba the winner. The Yankee-Milwaukee game, as we told you a moment or two ago, it is 8 for Milwaukee and 4 for the Yankees here in the 7th inning. Cooper and Randolph hit home runs, and Thomas has hit 2 for the Brewers. Hunter relieved by Eastwick in the 3rd against Augustine. And Minnesota and California, we've got the pitchers up now. Erickson against Ossie. And Seattle-Oakland, no report on that one yet. In the National League, the Cubs beat the Mets by a score of 4-2. Russell, the winner, and Kuzman takes the loss in that one. Montreal and the Phillies delayed because of rain, and now we've got word that it was postponed because of rain and will be made up on the 5th of July. Rangers broke the tie there in the 3rd inning on a single by Wills with stolen base. He moved to 3rd on the bounce out and came home on a sacrifice off the bat of Hargrove. The only score of the game, 1-0 Rangers, as Medich and Rozema duel away here in Texas. And here at the microphone to bring us the action is Paul Carey.
Okay, Ernie, thank you. Jason Thompson to lead it off for the Tigers here in the 4th inning. Jason hit a pop fly to left his first time up. He'll be followed by Kemp and Corcoran against the big right-hander Medich. They're playing him straight away, both in the infield and outfield. Here's the windup of the first pitch of the inning. It's a little low, ball 1. Around the infield for Texas, Hargrove at first, Wills at second, Campaneris at short, Harrah at third. A pitch to Jason. Check swing. It was low and away, and he checked in time. The appeal made down to third base umpire Jim Evans. He supported the contention of Durwood Merrill that Jason had checked. 2-0 count on Thompson. Medich into the pump. Here's the pitch. There's a foul back to the screen. Realize now they've eliminated one of the screens here at Arlington Stadium. They used to have a kind of a double set. They haven't made the first screen any larger, but they've taken away the second one. A lot of balls getting the stands here. The 2-1 pitch. Ball 3, a little bit low. Well, Medich really bounced around last year. He pitched for 3 teams: Oakland, Seattle, and the New York Mets. Thompson fouls one off at the plate. Full count on Jason. Medich had an accumulative record of 12 wins and 7 defeats. Had a fine rookie season, you'll recall, with the Yankees back in 1973. Al Bumbry of Baltimore won the rookie honors that year, however. Low for a ball, and Thompson draws a walk, the second given up by Medich. First time in the ball game, the Tigers have gotten their leadoff man on base, however. That'll bring up Steve Kemp. Kemp struck out swinging his first time up. Steve has drawn a walk in each of his first 3 games. Holding at the bag at first is Hargrove. The set by Medich. The pitch to Kemp. Swung on and lined foul into the stands beyond the Tiger dugout. The visiting dugout here in Arlington is behind third. A lot of rain over the weekend down here in Texas. Inside, moved him back. Still got a little puddle on top of the Tiger dugout, in fact, in a depression there. The forecast for this week is excellent. In fact, one of the ex-Detroit area TV forecasters working down here, giving us that word, Troy Dungan. Here's the set, the pitch to Kemp. Outside for a ball, 2-1 on Steve. Medich, a very methodical worker. He wants a new baseball. The Texas club is strong up the middle. They've got Sundberg, a Gold Glove winner, behind the plate. Out in center field, Juan Beniquez, who won a Gold Glove last year for fielding prowess. And around the bag at second, Wills and Campaneris. Here's the pitch. Swung on and right back to the mound. Medich, he drops the ball. Has only one play. He goes to first base to get Kemp. George had trouble getting the ball out of the glove. He looked at second, had a double play right in front of him. But he simply did not handle the ball well. He dropped it as he pulled it out of the glove. By the time he picked it up, he had only the one play at first base on Kemp. So Thompson moves up to second. And that'll bring up Corcoran. Corky singled left his first time up. Medich staring in, getting the sign from Sundberg. Looks back at Thompson. Here's the pitch. Corky takes the strike. Medich has walked 2. He struck out 1 and given up 3 hits. All singles. Corky swings, rips one up the middle. It's into center field, a base hit. Here comes Thompson around third. Beniquez up with the ball, no throw to the plate. Thompson scores. Corcoran delivers the Tiger run to tie the ball game at 1-1. Now, Corky, after going hitless in the first 3 Tiger games, he was a pinch hitter in 2 of them and walked those times. Delivers a couple of singles in this game against Medich. That'll bring up Milt May, who pulled a single down the right field line his first time up. Milt hitting well. The latter stages of spring training, and it carried over into the regular season. In fact, Milt is now 3 for 5 for the year. Medich taking a little time. Corcoran now edges further away from the bag at first. The look that way. Here's the pitch. There's a fly ball hit deep right center field. Beniquez on the run, near the wall, reaches, can't get it. It's off the wall. Rounding second, heading for third is Corcoran. May steams into second with a double. Holding at third is Corcoran. Corky had to hold. It looked for a moment like Beniquez might get there. Washington almost colliding with Beniquez at the wall, similar to the double by Richie Zisk to the opposite side of the field earlier in the contest. It got off the glove of Beniquez as he leaped, and it bounced off the wall, had to be picked up by Washington. And May is on at second with a double. At third is Corcoran. We've got a conference at the mound. Sundberg talking with Medich. And before Whitaker, bats will pause for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
You're listening to America's great radio station. This is WJR Detroit. Now, with less than 10 minutes to play in the second period of tonight's Stanley Cup playoff game, the Detroit Red Wings 4 and the Atlanta Flames 1.
Here's Lou. Sweet Lou walked his first time up. The infield is in tight all around for Texas. Runners at second and third. One away, the game tied 1-1. The pitch to Whitaker. Moved him back. He had to spin out of the way of that fastball inside. The Tigers have tied it on a walk and a single and have a chance to move ahead with runners at second and third following May's double. There's a fly ball down the left field line. It is slicing foul and out of reach of Al Oliver. Oliver swung a little bit toward left center. Had a long run, almost caught up with it. It fell foul about 4 feet. Kind of a collective sigh here by the Rangers fans. We're expecting a very big turnout tomorrow night at Arlington Stadium when the Bird, Mark Fidrich, goes for the Tigers against John Matlack, who won the opening game here for Texas. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Whitaker bounces one to short. Campy checks the runners, throws to first, got him, and 2 down now with runners still at second and third. Well, a drawn-in infield paid off that time for the Rangers. The ball hit sharply right to Campaneris. It's up to Alan Trammell now on the Tiger fourth. Trammell flied to right his first time up. With the exception of May, the Tiger batters have not been getting around on Medich, but May has been able to hit him and hit him hard and pull him. Getting some activity in the bullpen down there. Looks like that might be... Is that 28? That would be Comer, a rookie right-hander. Here's the pitch. Swung on, a line drive, base hit, right center field by Trammell. Scoring is Corcoran. Here comes Mays being held. The throw to the plate. Now they've got off the base at first is Trammell, but he hustles back and is in safely at first base. Nobody was covering first. Hargrove had come in to cut off the ball in the middle of the diamond. Well, Trammell took almost too big a turn, however. Sundberg was ready to run him down at first base, but then nobody was covering the plate. May put on the brakes as he started to head home. The Tigers get one in. May at third. At first is Trammell following his RBI single, and the Tigers now lead it 2-1. And it's the top of the batting order with Ron LeFlore stepping in. That ball hit on a line sharply to right center field. And a wise choice, stopping May at third base. Here's the pitch to Ronnie. He fouls this one out of play in right field. Tigers now with a total of 6 hits in the ball game. The stretch by Medich. The pitch to Ron. He swings and pops one down the right field line. Washington coming in. Hargrove going back. Foul ball out of the reach of second baseman Wills. It fell in between all 3 of them. A little slicing pop foul that was blown that direction by the wind. Everybody has to come back. Trammell was all the way to third base. LeFlore has bounced out twice to Wills at second. walk and 3 hits paying off for a couple of Tiger runs here in the 4th inning. Now Medich ready again. Here's the 2-strike pitch. Ball outside. Trammell moving away from the bag at first. May with a short lead down the line from third. LeFlore cuts a ground ball to Wills again. He puts to Campy for the 4th on Trammell, and that retires the Tigers. But the Tigers break through for a couple of runs. They score 2 runs on 3 hits and a walk. No errors. 2 runners left on base. Here come the Rangers to bat on the bottom of the 4th inning. It's now Tigers 2, the Rangers 1.
No charge checking. Other banks make it tougher. City National makes it easier. Now, while other banks are increasing the minimum savings balance you need for no-charge checking, CNB lowers it with combo checking.
Nobody has got what City National Bank has got.
That's right. Some banks are raising the minimum savings requirement to a whopping $500, but CNB lowers it to $200. A $200 minimum balance in savings or a $200 minimum balance in your checking account, and you check without charge. $200 in savings or $200 in checking, and you write all the checks you want without charge. All your checks without charge. Other banks make no-charge checking tougher. Combo checking makes it easier.
Who's got it? Nobody. A City National Bank.
Member FDIC.
Well, the Tigers on top now, 2-1, as the Rangers come to bat here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Ernie and I'd like to send along some get well wishes to a longtime Tiger listener up in Charlevoix, Mr. Frank Supernaw. Also to the news director of WJR, Dave White. Best wishes. Dave entering Providence Hospital for surgery tomorrow. Here's Al Oliver, number 0, to lead it off in the 4th for the Rangers. He bounced out to second his first time up. Left-hand batter. They pitch to Al. He squares, bunts down the third base line. It's a beauty. Mankowski will not make any play. A bunt single for Al Oliver. Perfectly placed halfway between the plate and third. That'll bring up Richie Zisk, who doubled in the 2nd inning, got as far as third base. Zisk won the opening game for Texas with a home run in the 9th inning. Had a 2-run homer here last night against the Yankees. A multi-millionaire Richie Zisk was set by Rosie. Here's the pitch. Just outside, ball 1. It's reported that the contract of Zisk is for 10 years and for approximately $2.8 million. Strong right-hand batter. The pitch to him. Swung on, a fly ball hit to shallow right field. Corcoran on the run, still coming. He makes the catch. A fine running catch by Corky, playing very deep on Zisk. And there's 1 down in the Ranger 4th inning. That'll bring up Toby Harrah. He flied to Corcoran his first time up. Toby had his best home run total in his career last year, 27 homers. Played in 159 games for Texas. There's the set by Rozema. We'll look to first at Oliver. The pitch. Round ball to the right side. Whitaker over, has it. Goes to second for 1. The relay to first. It is not in time. Bang, bang play at first base. Marty Springstead calling Harrah safe, so it goes as a force at second. And that brings up Claudell Washington. Washington struck out his first time up. Right fielder, Claudell Washington. young man who came up, earned a spot in the majors with the Oakland A's. Still only 23 years old. Rozema with his glove on his knee, now into the stretch. The pitch to Washington, it's a pitch out, but no movement at first by Harrah. Rosie has struck out a pair, hasn't walked anybody. There's a foul in the dirt rolling behind the plate. Coolish for Texas. I'll tell you, the Tigers usually here when it's humid in the evening. Not so tonight. They've all got jackets on down in the Tiger dugout. Now they set the pitch. Swung on and missed. A ball and 2 strikes on Claudell. Ernie was talking about that rumored trade between the Yankees concerning Washington and Lyle. There's another reported trade. Harrah for Nettles at one time. High, there's the runner going. Harrah slides. He is out at second base. A good throw by Milt May cut him down. And that retires the Rangers in the 4th inning. No runs, a hit, no errors. They do not leave anybody. After 4 innings of play, it's the Tigers 2, the Rangers 1.
When I first thought about doing this commercial, I realized I could do it by myself if I wanted to run the recording equipment and talk into the microphone at the same time. But I also realized it would probably get done better if my friend Rex ran the equipment while I did the talking. When I thought about how this commercial might sound better with some music, I realized I could do that by myself, too, if I learned to play all the instruments, but that it would probably sound better if I got together with Ray and Bob and Pete and the boys. So we did just what the Marathon Oil Company did. We got together to do it better. We didn't do it to overrun it, just to do it better. I think it worked out pretty good, just like it did for Marathon. So I even got some more people together to do some singing, like this. We got together to do it better. Marathon Oil Company. We got together to do it better. And we did.
This is Jim Garrett. Oakland County Juvenile Court is in need of foster homes for youngsters and especially teenagers. For information, call 858-0204.
We're talking about possible deals with Texas. The reference to the Harrah-Nettles trade is an alleged phone call made early in the morning one time last year by the then general manager of the Yankees, Gabe Paul, to Brad Corbett. Well, he wound up getting Brad Corbett Jr., Brad's son. Woke him up, said, "Is this Brad?" And he said, "Yes." He said, "How about Nettles for Harrah?" Young Brad said, "Nope." Brad Sr. didn't find out about it until some time later. Here's Phil Mankowski. Phil 1 for 2. He cuts and fouls into the screen. Phil singled in the first inning. Rangers are interested in acquiring some more pitching. They're looking at Jim Kern, or trying to work a deal out. There's a foul fly toward the seat from left field. Back up a number of rows. They have been interested in getting Kern. They have a young man, Len Barker, on this pitching staff who might be the answer, but they're not really sure of him yet. The pitch to Mankowski. Ground ball to first. Hargrove fields it. He'll make the play unassisted to retire Manco. 1 down in the Tiger 5th inning. That brings up Rusty. Staub is 0 for 2. He bounced into a double play in the first inning. Flied to right his last trip. Hitting an even .333 now. 5 for 15. Here's the windup by Medich. The pitch is a little low, ball 1. not much breeze at all here in Arlington Stadium now. Cut and a foul. Ball and a strike on Rusty. This park is known for its unpredictable winds. You know, kind of a swirling wind usually. Here's the windup, the 1-1 pitch. Check swing at the ball. 2-1 on stop. Tigers in front 2-1. Rangers got a run in the bottom of the third. The Tigers moved ahead with 2 in the top of the fourth inning. Staub patiently waiting at the plate. Now the motion by Medich, the 2-1 pitch. Ball 3. Medich has walked 2 Tigers. And he walks the third. Staub takes it low. That'll bring up Jason Thompson, who got a base on balls his first time up, or his last time up, and scored the first Tiger run. And moving Beniquez to straightaway center. He had started to play Jason in right center field, but Billy Hunter waved him back out to straight center. Infield and double play depth. Staub at first. 1 away here in the top of the 5th inning. Medich ready to go to work on Jason. The first pitch is taken high, ball 1. Ernie will be on with his pregame show again tomorrow night at 8:15 Detroit time and Michigan time. Wind-up of the short 2-game series. Jason swings, bounces one down behind first. Hargrove fields, tags first, throws to second. It gets past Campaneris. Staub is safe, but he won't advance any further. Rusty had slid in, and in picking himself up, he did not have time to get over to third. Campy chased the ball down in shallow left field. So it goes as a put out at first on Thompson with Staub taking second. And it brings up Steve Kemp now with 2 down. Kemp hitless in 2 trips. 4 for 11 for the season for Steve. Once again, the tongue depressor being used by Medich. Had trouble picking up some of that reddish clay in his spikes out on the mound. The look to second. Here's the pitch to Kemp. Up high, ball 1 on Steve. Mark Fedrich, going tomorrow night, did not pitch against the Rangers at all, either in Detroit or here, during the span of time he was with us last year. Strike called on Kemp. A lot of the fans eager to get a chance to see the bird out here tomorrow night. Staub at second, 2 down, and the Tiger 5th inning, a 1-1 count now on Kemp. The pitch to him. Moved him back, almost hit him. Kemp had to do quite a dance that time to get out of the way. 2 balls and a strike on Steve. Here's a look to second by Medich. He delivers. Ball 3, low and inside. On deck is Corcoran. Medich into the stretch. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Foul to the screen. Full count now on Steve. Tigers will be facing a left-hander tomorrow night in John Matlack. Ralph Houck so far has stuck to that platooning of 5 positions. There's the set now. The full count pitch to Kemp. Swung on and tapped down the first baseline, foul. The Rangers really had the number of the Tigers last year, winning 4 out of 5 here. And 4 out of 5 in Detroit. Medich asking for time. He walks off the mound. Now it comes back up. Staub walked with 1 out, moved to second on the bounce out by Thompson. He's there now with 2 down. A 3-2 count on Kemp. Here's the pitch to Steve. He fouls this one off. Texas fans out here last night had a lot of fun in the game won by the Rangers over the Yankees. They were all issued free handkerchiefs when they entered the ballpark last night. They were called Beat the Yankee Hankies. And they did a lot of waving of them because they beat the Yankees 5-2. Ready is Medich. The pitch. Foul to the screen. Kemp giving him a battle at the plate. 2 runs on 6 hits for the Tigers. A run and 3 hits for the Rangers. A new supply of baseballs necessary for Durwood Merrill. Merrill returns one to the ball boy. Medich has not liked a couple of balls he's gotten out there recently. Now they stretch by Doc. Here's the pitch. Ball 4, he walked him. It was an off-speed pitch, high and outside to Steve. So the Tigers have 2 on base as a result of walks here in the 5th inning. And Tim Corcoran strides to the plate. Tim is 2 for 2 tonight. That's 4 walks given up by Medich. And 3 of them have come in the last 2 innings. Corcoran singled in the 2nd inning. Got as far as 3rd base, was stranded there. In the 4th inning, he singled in a Tiger run and scored one. Medich taking plenty of time. Here's the first pitch to Tim. Moved him back with a fastball. Ernie mentioned the fact that Dr. Bobby Brown is one of the directors here of the Rangers ball club. Back when Doc was first in the Yankee system, his advisor at the University of Pittsburgh was Dr. Bobby Brown. Now they set the pitch from Medich. Low and away. Ball 2 count on Tim Corcoran. Staub edging away from second. They're not paying attention to the base runners right now. Here's the pitch to Corcoran. Oh, no, a strike. He got that one in above the knees. Corky took a look, was tempted, held off. 2-1 count now. Humbarger is beginning to throw in the bullpen for the Rangers. Tall left-hander. 2-1 count on Corky. The pitch from Medich. Swung on a drive toward the right field corner. That may be extra bases. Over to cut it off is Washington. Here comes Staub to score. Kemp will hold at third. Corcoran settles for a long single. That ball dies in that outfield out there. It may be quite moist from all the rain over the last couple of days. And it was stopped down. Washington was able to cut it off before it got to the corner. Well, the Tigers add another run. Corcoran picks up his 3rd straight single, his 2nd RBI of the night, and the Tigers lead it 3-1. Here comes Milt May, who's had a hot bat against Medich tonight. Milt with a single and a double. Kemp at 3rd, Corcoran at 1st. Conference at the mound. Sundberg out to talk to Medich. Now Durwood Merrill goes out to break it up. And they're trying to give Humbarger some time. That was the ploy. Here comes Billy Hunter out of a Ranger dugout. I would suspect we're going to get a pitching change right here. Billy taking his time, slowly trudging out to the mound. Humbarger, a left-hander who was with Texas, went away to Oakland, and then they got him back latter stages last season. Appears to be ready to come on. May is the next scheduled Tiger batter. Now the plate umpire Merrill again goes out. Is he going to make a change? No, he's not going to make a change right now. Medich standing alone on the mound, waiting for Sundberg to retrace his steps. Now Hunter crosses the line, makes a U-turn, and we've got the third base umpire, Jim Evans. All of the umpires tell Billy, you can't fool that. Billy tried to make a U-turn. He crossed the line, went about 4 steps, made a U-turn, headed back toward the diamond. All 3 umpires out on the field converged on Billy, waving him back to the dugout. Have you seen that before?
I never have. He gave me the old pivot, and they went for it.
Yeah, he's going to make a pitch here. May stepping in. Umbarger still loosening in the bullpen. Runners at first and third. Here's the set. The pitch to May. He swings, fly ball, hit deep right field, going back is Washington. Near the wall, it may be. It's gone. A 3-run homer for Milt May. He took advantage of the one pitch that had to be thrown him by George Medich, and the Tigers now lead it 6-1. Here comes May, scoring with his second home run of the year. And that's another superior home run. A homer by Milt May earns him a free case of those crispy, fresh, Superior potato chips and sends another case of Superior potato chips to the Boniface Community Action Center. Well, Billy should have taken him out the first time. He knows it now. He tried to get him out, tried the ploy to go back out there, but it didn't work. He had to have him in to throw one pitch, and Milt May liked what he saw and parked it up into the seats in right field. But now the pitching change takes place. Ernie?
Well, it'll be Umbarger, the left-hander coming in, and it's been the lower part of the batting order that's done the damage for the Tigers. Corcoran, with 3 singles and 3 chips, he's picked up 2 RBIs and scored twice. And Milt May right behind him with a single, a double, and a home run in 3 trips. Those 2 hitters, batting in the number 6 and 7 spots, have 6-6. And they've got 6 of the 8 Tiger hits. The only other Tiger hits are Mankowski's single in the first inning and a single by Trammell that knocked in a run in the 4th inning. Now we'll see Umbarger, U-M-B-A-R. In that one outing. He's the left-hander taking his tune-up tosses right now. And the Tigers have ripped this one open with a 4-run surge in the 5th inning, following the 2 runs that they scored in the 4th. They now lead it with 6 runs on 8 hits and no errors. The Rangers have 1 run, 3 hits, and they've made no errors.
But it was.
Well, now on the Christmassy note, here's the Bob Mitchell Boys Choir, and Santa Claus is coming. It'll be Washington, Beniquez, and Will, the 3 scheduled batters against the Rose here in the 5th inning. The record is complete now for Doc Medich, the starter. In 4 2/3 innings, he allowed with 6 runs and 8 hits, walked 4, and struck out 1. Washington was batting when Toby Harrah was caught stealing in the 4th inning, attempting to steal, that is. Here's the windup of the first pitch of the inning. Washington bunts toward first, fielded by Whitaker. He flipped. He got him. A good play by Sweet Lou, who came in. That ball had gotten by Rozema. No chance for David. And Whitaker came charging in from his position. Thompson alertly remained near the bag at first because he would not have had a play. Washington is out. Let's look at Juan Beniquez now, who flied to center his first time up. Beniquez has hitless in 10 trips so far this season. The pitch from Rozema with low ball 1. Rosie in the leaning in, getting his sign. Here's the pitch. Low and away, 2-0. The count on Beniquez. Rozema windmilling his arm as he gets the ball back from Milt May. Kemp is very deep in left field on Beniquez. More shallow on the right side. Here's the pitch. He squares and takes a strike. Mankowski was playing deep at third, and Phil now will play in a little bit closer. On a step back of the bag. The 2-1 pitch to Beniquez. Ball 3. Rosie's had to pitch from behind, and with men on base in this ball game, with the exception of the first inning. He hasn't walked anybody so far. The 3-1 pitch. Swung on a ground ball to short. Trammell has the hop. Guns across to Thompson. He got him. There are 2 down. And let's pause for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
Radio 76, this is WJR Detroit. Down in Atlanta, at the end of 2 periods of play, the Red Wings lead the Flames 4-1 on 3 power play goals and a short-handed score by Hextall, all in the first period. Again, at the end of 2, Detroit 4, Atlanta 1.
Wills, who singled his first time up, stole second and moved on in to score a run in the third inning. He takes one high and outside, ball 1. The windup by Rosie, the pitch. A tapper foul to the right of the plate. Rangers got their only run in that third when Wills led off with a single, stole second, took third on a bounce out to first, and scored on Hargrove's sacrifice fly to deep center. 3 hits for the Rangers off Rozema. Rozema is throwing the ball to Trammell and back out to the second base umpire. I don't quite get this why Larry Barnett wants to look at the ball, but apparently he had requested it. Rosie back on the mound, a 1-1 count now on Wills. Bases empty, 2 down, bottom of the 5th inning. 6-1 the Tigers lead. Took a called strike. He turned his back on that pitch, but it caught the inside corner. Bump had a solid season last year with the Rangers in his rookie year, hitting .287 in 152 games. He skips out of the way of an inside delivery. Not nearly the speed that his father possessed, but he still was able to steal 28 bases last year. He cuts a foul, rolling behind to the backstop. Count remains 2-2 on Bump Wills. Tigers have one more here tomorrow night, then move on a travel day Thursday to Toronto for a 3-game weekend series. Foul back into the stand. Look out. And get some stinging hands back up here below our booth. Tigers will return home Monday. Actually, come home Sunday night from Toronto. Take on the White Sox next Monday and Tuesday afternoon. A little tapper off the end of the bat toward third. Mankowski has it on the grass. High throw pulled down by Thompson. Side retired. 1, 2, 3. After 5 innings of play, it's the Tigers 6, the Rangers 1.
You're batting in the cleanup spot in the Labatt baseball trivia game. And here's the pitch. The house that Ruth built has seen some pretty long blasts. Name one player who has hit a fair ball out of Yankee Stadium. Take a little time and think it over, and relax with a cool, refreshing Labatt's beer. If you had a hard time, so did everyone else who tried to hit a fair ball out of Yankee Stadium. No one ever accomplished that feat. Great baseball calls for great beer. Labatt. Call for Labatt. Brewed in Canada since 1828. Distributed by Labatt Importers Incorporated, Buffalo, New York.
For beer at its finest, get your hands on Labatt's. It's Canada's #1 beer. As fresh and crisp as where it comes from.
This game is being brought to you by Labatt's. For beer at its finest, call for Labatt's. By Marathon dealers and distributors, people who've got together to do it better. By the Greater Detroit Chrysler Plymouth dealers who've got Horizon Motor Trend's Car of the Year. By Champion Spark Plugs. You can't buy a better plug than Champion. By at the Detroit News. For the first good news in sports every morning, read the new Detroit News AM edition. By City National Bank, where you can get combo checking. And by Little Caesars Pizza, a winner any way you slice it. Now, more Tiger baseball action with Ernie Harwell and Paul Terry.
20-year-old Alan Trammell will lead off a sixth inning for the Tigers. Detroit in front 6-1 thanks to 2 runs in the fourth inning and 4 in the fifth. Jim Umbarger kicks high and delivers the fastball in for a strike. Umbarger came on to get the final out of the fifth inning and induced Lou Whitaker to bounce out to second on 1 pitch. Here's the pitch. It's a ball inside to Al. Trammell is 1 for 2. He singled home a Tiger run in the fourth inning. Low for a ball. Umbarger is 6'6", weighs 200 pounds. The 2-1 pitch. Strike. Caught the outside corner. Kind of ironic, Umbarger was traded away by the Rangers to Oakland to get Claudell Washington just a year ago in March. Change up in for a strike. Trammell took it. Off-speed breaking ball by Umbarger. A beauty. 1 down in the Tigers' sixth inning. That'll bring up Ron LeFlore, who 3 times has hit the ball to Bump Wills at second base. The pitch to Ron. Ball inside. Umbarger, another graduate of Arizona State University into the majors. There's a ground ball to short. Campaneris bobbles the ball, picks it up, throws to first, not in time. We'll wait for the official score on that one. But it was hit right to Campy, and he knew he would have to hustle in order to get Ron after he bobbled it. It'll be an error on Campaneris. That's the first error of the ball game. LeFlore at first with 1 away. And the batter will be Mankowski. We've gotten the official attendance figure now at Arlington Stadium, 13,764. Slightly under the crowd of last night when they played the Yankees. 13,764. LeFlore with a big lead is driven back to the bag by a toss over there. Umbarger, the tall left-hander, looking at first. He goes. It's swung on and missed. The throw by Sundberg. Not in time. LeFlore in with a stolen base. His second of the year. And that stolen base by LeFlore will send a $25 gift certificate from Acme Sporting Goods to the Detroit Athletic League. The 3 Acme stores have more and have it for less. Mankowski helping out the runner by cutting and missing on that pitch. Here's the set by Umbarger. The 1-strike delivery fouled out of the glove of Sundberg, off the shin protector, it appears. LeFlore with his second steal of the year, perched on second with 1 away. Mankowski singled in the first inning, has since bounced out to second and to first. Phil hitting an even .333. A look to second. Umbarger holds, delivers. He struck him out. Phil took a look at that one. Now that's 2 strikeouts for Umbarger in this inning, and it brings up Rusty Staub. Rusty is 0 for 2. He walked his last time up and scored on Corcoran's single. LeFlore leading at second. Set by Umbarger. Here's the pitch to Rusty. There's a call strike on Staub. Rangers traded away Umbarger in March and then bought him from the A's in August. In between, he spent some time at San Jose, farm club of the A's. Staub a little tired of waiting. Sundberg called time now, and he's going out to the mound. That may be crossed up in some signs. Thompson waiting on deck for the Tigers. Now, Umbarger ready to work. Here's the one-strike pitch to Staub. He cuts and misses. Two outs. LeFlore at second base. A two-strike count on Staub. The pitch from Umbarger. Swung on and missed outside, but Rusty went fishing. And Umbarger strikes out the side for the Tigers in the sixth. No runs, no hits, one error, and one man left. After 5.5 innings, it's the Tigers 6, the Rangers 1.
Plymouth announces a breakthrough in American automobiles. New Plymouth Horizon, the car you can drive in comfort and confidence on any kind of road. Horizon gives you superb traction and stability because it's the first American-made car of its size with front-wheel drive. Horizon is loaded with standard features like rack and pinion steering, front disc brakes, AM radio, white wall radial tires, and front bucket seats. And Horizon has improved mileage figures on cars produced since March 6, 1978. The EPA estimated a manual transmission Horizon without optional air conditioning and power steering at 41 miles per gallon highway, 27 city. Your mileage may differ. Yet Horizon is base priced at just $37.06, excluding taxes and destination charges. Anytime you want to go anywhere, relax. Horizon can handle it.
Now at your Greater Detroit Chrysler Plymouth dealers.
The Tigers lead as we move to the bottom of the seventh inning here at Arlington Stadium. Mark Fidrich against John Matlack in Game 2 of the short two-game series tomorrow night. Tigers come back just one more time to Arlington, and that will be in July, just before the All-Star break. The Tigers playing only 5 games down here. There's the fine catcher, Jim Sundberg, to lead it off against Rosie in the sixth inning, only the second time up in the ball game for Sundberg. He bounced out unassisted to Thompson his first time up. The windup by Rozema, the pitch to Sundberg, swung on and missed. Well, we've got people in the league talking about Thurman Munson and Carlton Fisk, and then they'll work in Butch Whitaker and overlook this young man who became a good hitter in the latter stages last year as a foul to the right of the plate. And as good a receiver as you'll find, and a great throwing arm. Tigers swing to the left side on Sundberg. The two-strike pitch from Rosie. He is called on strike. Sundberg looked at the breaking ball that time. That's the third strikeout for Rozema. Well, Dave has not gone beyond 6 innings so far this year. Well, 6 innings the last couple of times out in spring training. Here's Mike Hargrove. 0 for 1 for Mike. He bounced out the first in the first inning, then drove in the Rangers' run in the third with a long sacrifice fly. In the leadoff spot, Hargrove flourished as a leadoff hitter last season. A little low for ball 1. Strong left-hand batter with a career average over 300. There's a line drive. On one hop, knocked down by Whitaker. He picks it up. Foots got him. Lou had to play that one off his chest. That ball was tagged. And it sank just before reaching Whitaker. So that it hit in front of the glove, came up, bounced off his chest, but not too far in front for him to recover. There are 2 down on the Rangers' 6th inning. And that brings up Cappy Campaneris. Ron LeFlore made a fine running catch above the shoe tops on a sinking liner from Cappy in the third. But low ball one on Campaneris. The pitch from Rozema. Ground ball to the left side. At short is Trammell. He's got it. Throws. He got him. And a 1-2-3 inning again for Rozema. After 6 innings of play, it's still the Tigers 6, the Rangers 1.
President Carter told America today the high level of oil imports and the increasing rate of inflation are the two major threats to the health of the nation's economy. Carter appealed to Americans to battle inflation by voluntarily curbing wage and price increases and the use of foreign oil. But he rejected resorting to wage and price controls. In Michigan, officials say 2 boys from Ypsilanti and 1 from Ann Arbor were killed today when a bus carrying members of the Ypsilanti Boys Club crashed in Georgia. Georgia State Police say about 30 other youths and chaperones were injured in the crash, which took place as the group headed for Disney World in Florida. State Representative Monty Geralds, who has been convicted on embezzlement charges in an Oakland County Circuit Court, says he will not, in his words, walk away from his job. This has been a news update from the WJR newsroom.
This broadcast is made possible by the Detroit Baseball Club and the American League and is intended for the private use of our listening audience. Rebroadcast or other use of this play-by-play is prohibited unless prior consent is received from WJR Detroit, the Detroit Tiger Baseball Club, and the American League. The announcers for this broadcast are selected and employed by WJR Radio and the Detroit Tiger Baseball Club. The Tigers coming to bat here on the top of the 7th inning with a 5-run lead, 6-1 over the Texas Rangers. Jason Thompson to lead it off. And back for the play-by-play, here's Ernie Harwell.
Thank you, Paul. Here we go now. Jason stepping in. He scored a run after a walk, but he does not have a hit tonight. Umbarger, the tall left-hander, wheels into action, and the pitch is a slow curve over for a strike. Umbarger has been brilliant since he took over. He's allowed only 1 runner. That was LeFlore reaching first on the error by Campaneris. Strike called, a fastball on the outside corner. He got the first man he pitched to on a bounce out. That was Whitaker in the 5th inning, and he struck out everybody in the 6th. Tigers lead 6-1 in the 7th. There's a foul ball right down below it. And the count is strike 2. Corcoran and May have faced the Tiger hitting attack with 3 hits apiece. One of May's blows is a home run with 2 men on. Umbarger in the back shoot again. There's a foul that'll drift back of the Tiger dugout into the seats. The count is still strike 2 on Jason Thompson. Medich started. He went 4 2/3 innings. Umbarger came on to the 5th. Rozema's been in there all the way for the Tigers. Umbarger checking his sign, works again. The pitch, Jason takes the curve outside. Texas scored first. They got a run in the 3rd on a single by Wills. He stole 2nd, went to 3rd on the bounce out, and came home on a sacrifice by Hargrove. Well, then the Tigers got 2 in the 4th and 4 runs in the 5th inning. Wind up the pitch. He swings and misses. That's another strikeout for Umbarger. His 4th. Steve Kemp will be the hitter. Well, the Tigers got 2 in the 4th inning on a walk to Thompson. A single by Corcoran. After Thompson went to 2nd on a bounce out by Kemp, scored him. And then May doubled, and Trammell knocked the run in with a single. Then May hit a 3-run homer to start the 5th inning. There's a strike called on Kemp. For the 3-run homer by May in that 5th, 2 walks and a single by Corcoran had scored a run. Here's the strike 1 delivery. It is a ball outside. Umbarger with a new confidence this year. He belonged to Texas and went to Oakland, and the Rangers got him back. swing and a foul fly lifted out of play. He swung late, the ball drifting in the left field seat. 1-2, the count on Kemp. Walks hurt Medich. He walked 4 men, and 3 of those scored runs. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. There's another strikeout. Umbarger mowing him down. 5 strikeouts. The last 5 men retired have been out on strike.
Ernie, we checked the rule book, and I was in error earlier when Billy Hunter wanted to change pitchers while Milt May was batting. I said he had to throw 1 pitch. He cannot make a second trip while the same batter is batting.
There's a pitch in too close, and he hits Corcoran with a changeup pitch. And May will be the batter now. He has a perfect night, a single, a double, and a home run.
The wording in the rule book says the manager or coach is prohibited from making a second visit to the mound while the same batter is at bat. So it's not the matter of 1 pitch at all.
Well, here's Milt taking a practice cut. He's had a big night at the plate. Milt drove in 5 runs last year in a game against Seattle. He's driven in 3 in this game. Tigers lead them 6-1. It's the 7th inning in Texas. Swing and a bounding ball to second. Wills has it. Here's a flip over to Hargrove, and the side retired. The first time that May's been out in the game. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left. We go to the last half of the 7th inning. The Tigers 6 and the Rangers 1.
When an oil well comes in, it's a big deal. Maybe not exactly like you've seen in the movies, but it's a big deal. Approximately 9 out of 10 exploratory wells drilled are dry holes. So when you hit one after all that time, money, and sweat, it's really something. It's a big deal even though a lot of the oil you've discovered will never get out of the ground. You see, traditional methods still leave a lot of the oil in the ground. But now Marathon's developed the Mariflood process, designed to get a lot more oil out of existing wells, oil we could never get before. Marathon invested a lot of earnings over the last years to make the Mariflood process happen, because it's another way of doing it better. Marathon Oil Company. We got together to do it better, and we did.
Well, the folks here at the stadium in Arlington standing the old 7th inning stretch is underway. Well, the Tigers have 6 runs and 8 hits and no errors. The Rangers 1 run, 3 hits, and 1 error. Rozema's gone all the way for the Tigers. Medich started for the Rangers, and Umbarger relieved him in the 5th inning. The Yankees lost tonight in their game in Milwaukee. The Milwaukee Brewers continue to do some heavy bombing. They get 9 runs on 11 hits and beat the Yankees 9-6. Chicago whipped Toronto today 9-5. Seattle at Oakland, no report on that one, though we've got the pitchers now. Polled against Broberg. Minnesota at California, no report, but the pitchers are Erickson against Rossi. In the National League, the Cubs beat New York 4-2. Montreal, Philadelphia rained out. San Diego defeated Atlanta 3-2. And San Francisco leading Cincinnati 3-2 in the 8th inning. Houston leads Los Angeles 1-0 in the last half of the 8th. Here's Al Oliver at the plate, and he swings and misses on a Rozema changeup. Oliver has bounced to second and had a bump single, 1 of the 3 hits off Rosie. It's a ball low in the dirt, 1-1. Outfield goes straight away on the former Pittsburgh Pirate Al Oliver. Left-hand batter waiting. He takes the ball outside. Humbarger has been super sharp in relief, relieving Medich. Rozema, pitching on the mound right now, has been in there for the full distance. There's a foul fly on the third base side, and the count is 2-2 on Oliver. 13,764 the paid attendance this evening. So again tomorrow, the Tigers send Sidrich to the mound against Matlack. Bounding ball up the middle into the glove of Rozema. A sharp ground single into center. Oliver gets his second hit. Here's Richie Zisk now with a double and a fly to right. Rozema facing the heavy part of Billy Hunter's batting order. Tigers start to get their bullpen stirring a little bit. Hiller and the Foucault begin to heat up. That's down in the left field corner. Outfield bending around the left on Zisk. One of the power hitters in Major League Baseball, Richie Zisk. Oliver at first base, not taking much of a lead, and the pitch is in too close on Richie. Holding over there with Oliver at first base. Tigers lead 6-1. It's the seventh inning. Opening game of the two-game set down here in Texas. Now Rosie checked out his time with Milt May, who's real low back at the plate. Bounding ball to third, maybe two. Mankowski to Whitaker, one. Relay to Thompson. Double play for the Tigers. Two for the price of one on the hard bounder to Mankowski off the bat of Zisk. Two out, nobody on. That'll bring up Toby Harrah. Toby with a fly to right. He's hit into fourth out to the second baseman. Most of the time, Rozema's been getting the opposition to hit the ball into the dirt. Last fly ball is the one that Zisk lifted to right field back in the fourth inning. Right-hander against the right-hander. Harrah cuts and misses on the fastball toward the outside. Rosie ready, delivers. It is a ball into close. Paul and I appreciate the message from Mr. Bob Sullivan, Tiger Scout in Grand Rapids. The ever-alert Mr. Sullivan. There's a ball outside. 2-1.
And mentor of the man on the mound.
Absolutely. Imagine he's thoroughly tuned into this one. Tigers lead 6-1, seventh inning, 2 out, none on for the Rangers. Well, Rozema has taken a little more time, looks to get his side. Here's the motion and the pitch. Swinging a bounding ball up the middle. It may get through. Whitaker deep. Grabs it at second. Throw to Thompson. He got him. What a play by Lou. He caught that ball in short center field. A hard grounder up the middle and takes a hit away from Harrah. Good throw, but in the dirt. And Thompson had to scoop it up. No runs. One hit. No errors. Nobody left. At the end of 7 in Texas. Tigers 6, Rangers 1.
I got grease on my fingers, oil on my shoes, I'm always under the hood. But I wouldn't change places with anyone else, even if I could. I've worked on every car, big and small, every kind of engine too. And there's one thing that applies to them all, whether they're old or new. You can't buy better plug for any kind of car than Champion. You can't buy better plug no matter where you are than Champion. Champion's #1 in the world, they're #1 in your car. Some folks don't mind working in a big place, being part of a team. I prefer just me and that engine, nobody in between. You can't buy better plug for any kind of car than Champion. You can't buy better plug no matter where you are than Champion. Champion's #1 in the world, they're #1 in your car. No, you can't buy better plug for any kind of car than Champion. You can't buy better plug no matter where you are than Champion. No, you can't.
Radio 76 salutes Detroit Pistons captain Bob Lemire, recently awarded the 1978 Walter Kennedy Citizenship Award for his outstanding humanitarian achievements in our community.
That's false for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
This is WJR Detroit. Now with less than 10 minutes to play in the third period, the Flames have scored twice and have moved to within one of the Wings. Right now, it's Detroit 4, the Atlanta Flames 3.
Here's Whitaker facing Umbarger, and he bunts and misses. Strike one on Lou, who made that brilliant play to end the seventh inning for Texas. At the plate, Whitaker has walked, bounced to short, grounded to second base. 0 for 2. Harrah in very close on him at third. Umbarger pitches. Here's a cut and a miss. Ball dipping down and away, and he was fooled by it. Umbarger's fooled them all so far. Wind up. He delivers. Here's a bounding ball back to Umbarger, who scoops it up, flips it over to first to Hargrove, and there's one up and one away in the Tiger eighth inning. Umbarger came on in the fifth inning. He's allowed only 2 runners. LeFlore was safe on the error by Campaneris. Corcoran was hit by a pitch. Here's Alan Trammell, who has fly to right, single, drove in a run, his first RBI in his major league career, and taken the call, third strike. It's a slow curve over. Umbarger, brilliant the way he's changing his speeds here. Now kicks high and delivers. Here's the fastball outside. He got Trammell in the sixth inning on a big changeup. Tigers lead 6-1 in the eighth. Change curveball fouled away into the Tiger dugout. One ball, 2 strikes on young Mr. Trammell. Medich started and gave up all the runs. Now time call by plate umpire Merrill. Outfield is shallow on Trammell. Infield is back. Here it comes. He takes a wide one. That got away from Umbarger. 2-2 the counter now. Corcoran with 2 RBIs, May with 3, and Trammell with 1. There's a fly ball that'll drift foul in the seat just behind the Texas bullpen in the right field corner. The wind is picking up now. It's bringing in a little cool air with it. The motion, the left-hander deals a changeup, hit in the air to center. Beniquez is there. He one-hands it. And that's 2 down in the Tiger eighth inning. Ron LeFlore without a hit. He's bounced 3 times to second and once to short. And the last time up when he hit the ground ball to short, there was an error by Campaneris. The Tigers with a lead in the eighth inning by 5 runs, 6-1. It's a ball outside, ball 1. Swing, a little loop of the right center might drop in. Going back is Wills, got his glove on it, can't hang on. And it'll be a single for LeFlore. Great effort by Bump Wills. He managed to get his glove on the ball, and that was all. Oh, the Tigers get another hit. That'll be their 9th. And here's Mankowski. It is the first hit allowed by Umbarger. Mankowski got the first hit off Medich, a single in the first inning. LeFlore with an edge at first base gets back. Ron had a stolen base in the sixth inning. Now he's got a longer lead over there at first. Hargrove holding on the bag with him. And gets back. There's a quick flip by Umbarger, drives him in that direction. To Marty Springstead right over there, back of first base on top of the plate. Mankowski waiting at the plate. Another throw to first. LeFlore back safely. 6 runs, 9 hits for the Tigers. 1 run, 4 hits for the Rangers. LeFlore goes back again, and this time made it a little more easily. Single game here tomorrow night. We hope you'll join us. Matlack will pitch for Texas. The Bird Fitterich for the Tigers. Here's a strike call. Almost a quick pitch that time. I think the Tigers are going to complain that it was a balk or either a quick pitch, but they're not getting anywhere with umpire Merrill. Strike 1 count on Manco. Again, LeFlore lengthens his lead at first base. Does not go. It's a pitch out, but no movement. 1-1. All the Tigers scoring came in the 4th and 5th inning. 2 in the 4th, 4 in the 5th. The Rangers run scored in the 3rd inning. Now the set and the pitch. He swings a rounding ball up the middle. There goes Campaneris. He has it, flips it over to first, and Mankowski is out to retire the side. No runs on 1 hit. No errors. 1 man left. We go to the last half of the 8th inning in Texas. The Tigers 6, Rangers 1.
Well, I know that you parents and you youngsters are all interested in what gift days the Tigers have in store for you here in the 1978 season. And let me tell you, there are 3 gift days on the docket. Free Jacket Day on June 4th when the Minnesota Twins will be in town. Free Helmet Day on July 23rd when the Angels are visiting. And free T-Shirt Day on August 6th when the Chicago White Sox come to Tiger Stadium. Now, on gift days at Tiger Stadium, every boy and girl 14 or under entering on a gift day full-price ticket, whether a $6 box seat, $5 reserve, $3.50 general admission, or $2 bleacher seat ticket, will be given the gift of that day. Remember, it's Jacket Day, June 4th, with the Minnesota Twins. Helmet Day, July 23rd, with California visiting. And T-Shirt Day, August 6th, with the White Sox opposing the Tigers.
Rozema ready to deal him in the last half of the 8th inning. He's working on a 6-1 lead now. Rosie has struck out 3. He's not walked anybody. And he's given up a total of 4 hits. The only run came on a leadoff single by Wills in the 3rd. He stole 2nd. Went to 3rd base on a bounce out and then came home on a sacrifice fly. Rozema pitches very much like Fitterich. He likes to get the ball over and he keeps it down. Dazzy Vance, the old Dodger right-hander, used to say that he would just throw the ball over, and it didn't bother him too much whether the pitch was inside or outside. He'd aim for the center of the plate, and then let the little variance take care of itself. Here's Claudell Washington 0 for 2. He struck out and bounced to second base. Left-hand batter cuts and misses on a high, hard one. Oliver has 2 of the hits off Rozema, 1 for Zisk and 1 for Wills. There's the slider over but low, and the count is 1-1 on Claudell. Shortstop Trammell moved over to his left now, near his second base. The outfield straight up. The breaking ball stays low and outside on Washington, 2-1. Thompson deep at first, fairly near the line. Here's the pitch. It is wide, the ball 3. Rosie's fastball didn't hit the target. Don't forget the scoreboard show tonight. Paul Carey will have all details of the Major League action for you. There's a ball high. It's the first walk off Rozema, as again he seemed to be forcing himself there. Here's Beniquez stepping up. And we've got a National League final for you. Houston beat L.A. 1-0, a 2-hitter by Richard. Bruton takes the loss. 1 run, 5 hits for Houston. No runs, 2 hits for Los Angeles. That's Houston's first win. of the season. Man on first, that's Washington. Tigers get their bullpen busy again. Foucault and Hiller up for the second time tonight. Rozema delivers. Here's a chopper hit off his foot, and the ball bounced down to a third base. Tigers got two in the fourth inning off the starting pitcher, Medich. A walk to Thompson. A bounce out, a single by Corcoran got him home. A double by May sent Corcoran to third. And then Trammell scored him with a single for the Tigers' first two. There's a ball low to Beniquez, 1-1. Then the Tigers broke it open in the fifth inning on a one-out walk to Staub, a two-out walk to Kemp. Single by Corcoran got one in, and then May hit a three-run homer to climax that four-run third. Here's the pitch. He swings and misses. That was the slider down around the knees. 1-2, the count on Beniquez. Texas has left only one runner on. The Tigers have left 8 stranded. Washington with a fair-sized lead at first base. He's playing conservative with a 5-run deficit. Bounding ball toward the deep short. Over goes Trammell. Has it over to Whitaker for one. That's all they'll get. Good play by Trammell. He went deep in the hole and handled the ball neatly, but they didn't have time to get two. Beniquez is at first. Fourth at second base is Washington. And the batter will be Bob Will, who has scored the only run for Texas. Bob says his dad didn't help him a whole lot until after he got into the major league. That Maury sort of let him alone, let him go on his own for a while. There's a bunt attempt that he misses to strike one. He's batting left-handed against Rozema. Mankowski in very close on him at third base. Now the set, the pitch, it is a cut and a miss. And we've got another final. San Francisco hung on to beat Cincinnati 3-2. LaBelle the winner. Tomlin takes the loss. Evans and Whitfield had home runs. So did Clark. It's a chopper foul down past first base. That makes the Giants now 3-1 for the year. And Cincinnati takes its first loss of the season. Los Angeles taking its first loss. That means that Milwaukee is the only unbeaten team now in the Major League. Here's a ball low and outside. Milwaukee off to a hot start. They beat the Yanks tonight. That's 4-0 for the Brewers. Well, they've done it with big bats.
Well, they got held under 10 runs tonight.
Yeah, moral victory for the Yankee pitching staff. Here's the step, the pitch. Foul, out of play. 1-2 the count on him. Bump Wills the batter. We're in the 8th inning. The Tigers have the lead 6-1 over the Rangers. The Rangers have added about a little over 5,000 seats to their capacity here in this ballpark. They built an upper deck behind the plate. Line shot, base hit, center field. He reached out. That looked like a hanging curve to me. And he reached out at about an eye-high pitch and ripped it over the second base. Wills gets his second hit. And the Rangers have 2 men on. They trail 6-1 in the 8th inning. There's 1 man down, and the batter will be Jim Sundberg. Second base. Wills gets his second hit, and the Rangers have 2 men on. They trail 6-1 in the 8th inning. There's 1 man down, and the batter will be Jim Sundberg. First outing for Rozema. And he pitched only 20 innings this spring. Last time he worked was on the April the 4th at Columbus against Cincinnati when he went 6 innings. Well, he's not worked a whole lot this season. There's a strike call. Tigers keeping that bullpen active. And the breeze getting a little stronger, blowing in that cool air from center field. 2 men on, 1 man down. High pop-up, back is short. The infield fly rule is now invoked. Trammell is under the ball, makes the catch. That'll make it 2 down. And to bring up the top of the order, Hargrove. Here's a fellow who goes through all kinds of gyrations, very much like Harry the Hat Walker used to. Picks up the dirt, takes a couple of swings. Then he'll step back in, then he'll fool with his batting helmet and his hand. He'll knock dirt from his spike. Pull at his batting glove. Almost by the numbers. Left-handed batter waiting. 2 on and 2 out. Rosie sets and pitches. It's a strike. He got a slider across. Matter semantics, but Rozema throws a slider instead of the curve. Most baseball people refer to almost any breaking pitch, though, as a curve. There's a ball, though. 1-1. That is in a general sort of a way. 1-1 now, the count on Hargrove. 2 on, 2 out. Tigers lead 6-1. Texas batting in the 8th inning. First of a 2-game set down here in Arlington. Here it comes. He swings at a bounding ball wide at first. Thompson boots it. It bounds away from him, and the bases are loaded. That ball bobbled by Thompson off his chest, bounced almost all the way to second base. It'll be an error charged to Jason. That's the first Tiger miscue of the game, and sets up a bases-loaded situation with Campaneris due up next. So what would have been the 3rd out instead loads the bases here. And let's see, nobody's come out of the dugout yet for Texas. Billy Hunter may want to use a pinch hitter. Still nobody out of that dugout. Bavacqua, I believe, is over there getting a bat now.
It looks like Dirty Kurt's going to come out.
Yes, sirree. Oh, he's at the on-deck circle, still adjusting his batting glove. Let's check and see whether Kurt's been in action so far this year. He has 1 game.
No, it's Lowenstein, Ernie, coming up.
Oh, it's going to be Lowenstein. I beg your pardon. And he has not been in action. John Lowenstein, the former Cleveland Indian player, has not been in action so far. So this will be his first time up as a Ranger. With Cleveland last year, he batted .242. Lowenstein is batting for Campaneris. Left-hand bat at the plate. Rozema in trouble now. The bases are loaded. 8th inning, Tigers lead 6-1. There are 2 down. Texas trying to get back in this one. Rosie's gone all the way. Left-handed batting, John Lowenstein at the plate. And he takes the strike. Fastball over. That was about letter high. .31-year-old veteran Lowenstein. Now set and the pitch. He swings as a fly ball to right. Not deep. Corcoran there has it, and the inning is over. The Rangers threaten, but they cannot score. No runs on the one hit, a walk, one error. 3 runners are left on base. We go to the 9th inning in Texas. Tigers 6, Rangers 1.
The Detroit Red Wings have just won their first Stanley Cup playoff game in Atlanta, defeating the Flames 5-3 on a last-second open net goal by Andre St. Laurent. Again, final score, Detroit 5, Atlanta 3.
Jim Mason goes to shortstop now for the Rangers. The Tigers send up Rusty Staub. It'll be Staub, Thompson, and Kemp to face Umbarger in the 9th inning, and the Tigers have the lead over the Rangers by a score of 6-1. Corcoran with 2 RBIs, May with 3 on a home run, and Trammell with 1. They have been the men who have produced the Tiger runs this evening. Left-hander against the left-hander. Staub waiting. He's without a hit so far. Had a walk. And swings and fouls it away. Back of the plate. Rusty hit into a double play to second base in the first. He flied to right. In the third, drew a walk and scored a run in the 5th inning and struck out. Umbarger fanned him in the 6th. Umbarger has worked on the mound since the 5th inning. We're leading the starter Medich. Left-handed pitches, the curveball gets Rusty swinging, and it's strike 2. Cool evening now in Texas. It was a very pleasant day, nice and warm, but the coolness has come in with the darkness. Here's the pitch. In tight under the chin, and the count is 1-2 on stop. Umbarger pitches. Fastball over, but it's low. 2-2. Outfield is straight up on Rusty. There's a wide curve from the left-hander. The Tiger left-hand batter is still staying in there. They've been looking at this left-hand pitcher since the 5th inning. Here's the pitch. He took it in too close. Well, the big young right-hander, Lynn Barker, working now in the Texas bullpen. That's the first walk-off Umbarger. He's hit a man, and he's struck out 5. Here's Jason Thompson. Picked up the walk, but does not have a hit. He's 0 for 3. Fly to left, bounced to first, and struck out. Don't forget the other scores will be on the scoreboard show with Paul when the game's over. There's a strike. He checked his swing. Outfield straight away on Thompson. Hargrove playing behind the runner Staub at first base. Now the set by Umbarger. The pitch is a curve that was in close, and he backed him off. 1-1. That's the same pitch that hit Corcoran in the 7th inning. Out of a change-up curveball in close. Now the tall left-hander delivers. Well, to the outside of the plate. Jason didn't come very close to that one. Strike 2 the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Don't forget the Tigers will be home next Monday. They'll be battling the White Sox, who are off to a great start. A power-laden ball club under manager Bob Lemon. We hope you'll be out there to see the Tigers in action. It's a day game at 1:30. Outside, he almost swung at that one, but resisted the temptation 2-2. The White Sox are in town for 2 games, then the Tigers go to Cleveland, come back for the weekend to play Texas. Set by Umbarger, delivers. Here's a swing and a miss. He struck him out. Jammed him with a fastball. That's the 6th strikeout for Umbarger. He's victimized Thompson twice. Here's Steve Kemp. He struck out twice. Medich got him once, and Umbarger got him once. He's also bounced to the pitcher and drawn a walk. Then the lower part of the batting order that's been the productive part for the Tigers, namely Corcoran and May, who had 6 hits between them. 6 hits in 7 official trips. Tigers lead 6-1 in the 9th inning. Throw to first. And Staub was almost caught off. He sort of struggled back there. Now gets a larger lead with Hargrove playing behind him. Steve Kemp looks at a breaking ball high, ball one. Now Billy Hunter is resigned to the fact that he'll go as far as his pitching will take him. It's a strike call, the fastball over. Medich did not last through half the game here tonight. There's a bounding ball past the mound to short. Mason flips it over to Wills. One, relay to first, not in time. Mason a little slow getting the ball to Bump, and he didn't give him too good of a shoveling throw there. Bump caught the ball high and could not get rid of it in time to double up Kemp at first base. So it'll be a simple force out, short to second. And here's one of the hitting heroes for the Tigers, Tim Corcoran. Drove in the first run. He scored 2 runs. He's knocked in 2. He has a perfect night, 3 for 3. He's been hit by a pitch. Two out, 1 on in the 9th inning. There's a strike. He got a fastball above the knees. Well, Humbarger has looked very sharp. He's allowed no runs and 1 hit since he took over in the 5th inning. And he struck out 6. Low curve pulls him. He swings and misses. It has really been breezy down there at home plate, the way Humbarger's got him cut. 6-1, though. The Tigers in the lead in the 9th inning. Now Corcoran behind the hitter. Strike 2 pitch. Swing! And he struck him out. That's the 7th strikeout for the left-hand reliever. No runs on no hits, no errors, and 1 man left. We go to the last half of the 9th inning in Texas. It's the Tigers 6, the Rangers 1.
You're at bat in the Labatt baseball trivia game. Here's the pitch. Which brother combination holds the record for hitting the most home runs? They hit 768. Why not refresh your memory and relax with a cool Labatt's beer? The answer? Hank and Tommy Aaron. Hank hit 755 round trippers, and brother Tommy hit 13 in his brief career. Beer and baseball really go together. Always have, always will. Great baseball calls for great beer. Labatt. Call for Labatt. Brewed in Canada since 1828. Distributed by Labatt Importers Incorporated, Buffalo, New York.
For beer at its finest, get your hands on Labatt's. It's Canada's #1 beer. As fresh and crisp as where it comes from.
Rozema trying for that 9th inning to complete the game here. He's got a lead of 6-1, and he'll be facing a rather arduous task here in the 9th inning. Oliver, Zisk, and Harrah, the 3rd, 4th, and 5th hitters of the Texas Rangers, try to get it started for them. The Rangers loaded the bases in the 8th inning on a walk, a single, and an error, but could not get anybody home. And so far, the only run is the one that came in the 3rd on a single by Wills, a stolen base to bounce out, and a sacrifice fly off the bat of Hargrove. Tigers got 2 in the 4th inning on a walk to Thompson. They bounced out a single by Corcoran, got 1 in, a double by May. Sent Corcoran to 3rd. He scored on a single by Trammell. They scored 4 more in the 5th inning on a couple of walks and a single by Corcoran to get 1 in, and then May unloaded a 3-run homer. So here we go, the 9th inning, and Al Alvaro's bat. He takes a curve in too close from Rosie ball 1. Oliver with 2 for 3. One of them bunt single. Mankowski in close on him this time. And the pitch is swung on, hit the Whitaker at second base. He bobbles it in front of him, picks it up, so to first, he got him. Well, there's 1 down, and let's see if it's time for a station break. We'll pause briefly for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
WJR Detroit. On goals by McCourt, 2 by Nedomansky, a short-handed 1 by Hextall, and an open net score with a second left by St. Laurent. the Red Wings have defeated Atlanta 5-3. Again, Detroit 5, Atlanta 3.
Designated hitter Richie Zisk at the plate takes a ball outside, ball one. He doubled in the second inning, fly to right, and then hit into a double play. Right-hander Rozema pitches. It is a strike call to 1-1 on Richie. Hiller and Foucault for the third straight inning are working in the Tiger bullpen. This takes in too close, 2-1. Toby Harrah waiting on deck. Now the motion and the pitch. Foul back to the screen and into seat. Rangers have left four runners on. They left three of them last inning. Only other time they left the runners in the second. When this double got the third and was left there. Rosie set to go again. It's a 2-2 count of the big right-hand hitter. He takes the ball. That one hit in front of the plate. Full count. Ninth inning, Tigers lead by 5, 6-1. Here it comes. He swings and there's a long one. It may be out of here. Deep to left. It's gone. A home run by Zisk in the left field seats to make it 6-2. Richie Zisk gets his third home run of the season. Over the 370-foot marker in the left field seat. The Texas batter now. So Zisk and Oliver, the two ex-Pirates, have picked up 4 of the 6 hits for Texas. Here's Harrah at the plate. He's fly to right, hit into a fourth out to second, and bounced to second. There's a ball in close, ball one. Now the windup by Rozema. The pitch is fouled away. He pulled that one, but pulled it too much. Hit it hard on the ground down past third base coach Connie Ryan. Tigers hold the 4-run margin now as the homer by Zisk cuts it to 4. 1 out in the ninth inning for Texas. Low and away, and the count is 2-1 now on Toby Harrah. Don't forget the scoreboard show with Paul Carey. All the other scores laid out for you. Now Rozema has his sign from May. And the young right-hander pitches. It is a strike to slider on the outside corner. 2-2. Some of the paying umpires disagreeing with the official arbiter on that one. Mr. Merrill. Here's the ball. Here's the pitch. He swings at the bounding ball wide of third. Mankowski gloves it. Throw to Thompson. Got him. They're 2 down. And that leads it up to Claudell Washington, the left-handed batting right fielder. Claudell is struck out, bounced to second, and drawn a walk. Rozema has walked 1 and struck out 3. He's not fanned a man since the 6th inning. Tigers lead 6-2. We're in the ninth, 2 down with the Rangers. Line drive to left. It is a foul ball by a foot. Slicing drive down the line into the Tiger bullpen. One thing about Washington, he hits in all directions. All the way down to first. Now he has to come back and reset himself with the batter's box. 2 out in the ninth inning. Rozema trying to get that final man. Dave looks over, ready to go. Wind up the pitch. He swings as a fly ball. Deep left center. Kemp going back, way back, way back. He's got it, and the Tigers win the first meeting with the Rangers. In the ninth inning, Texas 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left. And down in Texas tonight, the final score of the Tigers 6 and Texas 2.
A lot of oil never gets out of the ground. Not because it hasn't been discovered, but simply because there hasn't been any way to get it out. Because the traditional methods for recovering oil can't get all the oil out of a well. For a number of years now, the engineers and research people at Marathon have been getting together to see if they could find a way to solve that problem. They figured there must be a way to do it better, and it turns out they were right. They've developed the Mariflood process, which is designed to get more oil out of existing wells. They came up with the Mariflood process because they got together to do it better, and they did.
We got together to do it better.
Marathon Oil Company. We got together to do it better, and we did.
Did you know that in a 1974
Catch all
regional
the
basketball
Tigers
tournament
baseball
in Sweden,
action on this
13-year-old
radio
Matt
station throughout the
Norman
season.
scored 272
Tigers like
points in one
Medich,
game?
LeFlore,
This is
Thompson,
Jim
Stanley,
WJR Sports.
Young Dave Rozema managed to go all the way despite giving up the ninth-inning home run to Richie Zisk. Rosie pitching a six-hitter tonight as the Tigers win the opener of the two-game series here at Arlington, Texas, 6-2. And they did it because of the bats of Milt May and Tim Corcoran tonight, both with 3 hits. May with 3 RBIs on his 3-run homer in the 5th inning. Earlier, Milt had singled and doubled. Corky had 3 singles and drove in 2 runs. One in the 4th inning with a single. Alan Trammell also driving in a Tiger run with a single in the 4th inning. In the 5th inning, Corcoran singled in another Tiger run, and May followed with his 3-run homer that KO'd the starter and loser, Doc Medich, who gave up all 6 of the Tiger runs and 8 of the 9 hits. Jim Umbarger was tough the rest of the way, as he allowed only 1 hit in working the last 4 1/3 innings, striking out 7 Tigers, hitting a batter, and walking but 1. Rozema going the distance for his first victory of 78, struck out 3 and walked 1. The totals for Detroit, 6 runs, 9 hits, and 1 error. For Texas, 2 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error. The Tigers left 9 on base. The Rangers left 4 on base. The game took 2 hours, 28 minutes to be completed. A crowd of 13,764. Tomorrow night, game 2 of the 2-game series finds the Bird, Mark Fidrich, going against John Matlack, who won the opener for the Rangers against the Yankees here on Saturday. And our broadcast coverage will begin with Ernie Harwell's pregame program at 8:15 tomorrow night. That's the story of a Tiger victory in Texas. For Ernie Harwell, this is Paul Carey saying so long. Once again, the final score, the Detroit Tigers 6, the Texas Rangers 2.
Listening to Detroit Tiger Baseball 1978, brought to you by Labatt's. For beer at its finest, call for Labatt's, Canada's #1 beer. By your Marathon dealers and Marathon distributors, people who got together to do it better. By your Greater Detroit Chrysler Plymouth dealers who got Horizon, Motor Trend Magazine's Car of the Year. By Champion Spark Plugs. Champion makes a plug for virtually every engine made. If it runs on land, sea, or air, it will run better with a fresh set of Champions. By Champions, you can't buy a better plug. By the Detroit News. For the first good news in sports every morning, read the Detroit News AM edition at newsstands at 6:30 every morning. By City National Bank, where you can get combo checking, 2 ways to check without charges. And by Little Caesars Pizza, a winner any way you slice it. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
From out of the blue, we turned around, surprising you with the best thing we found. 'Cause you're the special one at Real Estate One. That's why we've got Circle One.
Circle One. It will change your mind about what a real estate company can do for you. With the Circle One card, you're entitled to many extra services, like assistance in travel and lodging if you're relocating, notary service, and so much more. So even after you've bought or listed your home with Real Estate One, you can use Circle One for that extra touch of service.
Circle One. Real Estate One.
Circle One. For a little card, it's a pretty big thing.
From out of the blue, we turned around, surprising you with the best thing we found. 'Cause you're the special one at Real Estate One. We're making things simpler for you.
Weekday mornings from 10 to 12, Jimmy Lance is your host, right here. To lunchtime from Radio 76, America's great radio station, WJR Detroit.
Welcome to the Paul Carey Scoreboard Show, brought to you by Denny's Restaurant, serving you throughout the country 24 hours a day. And now for the scores and a resume of the action of today's baseball games. Back to the stadium and Paul Carey.
Good evening again from Arlington, Texas, where the Tigers won the opener of the two-game setup of the Rangers 6-2. Let's check the scores. In the National League, first of all, one game this afternoon at Shea Stadium, New York, where only 3,650 some saw the Cubs defeat the New York Mets 4-2. 4-2-0 for the Cubs, 2-7-0 for the Mets, as Rick Russell squared his record at 1-1. And Koosman, the loser, is 1-1 for the Mets. The Cubs win at 4-2. The Montreal-Philadelphia game tonight was postponed because of rain. They'll try to make that one up on July 5th. Down in Atlanta, the San Diego Padres rallied to beat the Braves 3-2, scoring twice in the eighth to tie it, getting the winning run in the top of the ninth inning. 3-6-2 for the Padres, 2-6-1 for Atlanta. Ochinko with help from Fingers. Fingers got the victory. He is 1-1. Necro taking a tough loss. Phil is 0-2. They only had 2,600 in Atlanta for that one. At Cincinnati, San Francisco handed the Reds their first loss of the year, 3-2. 3-7-1 for the Giants. 2-8-1 for the Reds. The difference in the ball game, a home run in the eighth inning by Clark of the Giants, his first of the year. Earlier, Evans and Whitfield had both homered off starter Tom Seaver. Seaver, not the pitcher of record, however. Tomlin, coming on in relief in the eighth inning, gave up the home run that gave the victory to the Giants. Tomlin, the loser. Lavelle, the winner in relief for San Francisco, now stands 2-1. And Houston handed the Dodgers their first loss of the year, getting a run in the first inning, and that was all the scoring in the ball game. Houston won, the Dodgers nothing. 1-5-0 for Houston, 0-2-1 for the Dodgers. J.R. Richard all the way with a brilliant two-hitter for his first win of the year, and Hooten took the loss for the Dodgers.